Good evening, Pippins fans, and welcome into the broadcast booth. I'm Harmon Johnsen, bringing you Yakima Valley Pippins baseball on a chilly but beautiful Friday night. Tonight, the Pippins have packed the passports and have taken the show international. Yakima Valley, sitting at a solid 7-5 on the summer, have officially landed north of the border here in Edmonton, live from the banks of the North Saskatchewan River at Remax Field for Game 1 of a massive three-game weekend set against the Edmonton Riverhawks. If you like momentum, you came to the right place tonight. Pippins are coming off an absolute masterclass in their series finale against the Ridgefield Raptors, a 13-1 blowout that proved just how dangerous this ball club can be when all the cylinders are clicking. Tonight, they look to carry that into one of the most hostile, packed environments in the West Coast League here in Edmonton. Taking a look at how we got here yesterday was a statement game for Yakima Valley, salvaging a series down in Ridgefield, dropping games Tuesday and Wednesday. The Pippins flipped the script to avoid the sweep. 16 hits, 13 runs. Everybody was on the base paths. Derek Almeida spearheaded the attack. It was 4 for 6 at the plate out of the 8-hole for Almeida. But last night, the Pippins also got some help with the long ball. You go into the third inning of last night's game, Parker Burt getting a solo home run, and then towards the end of the game, Nick Velasquez with a 2-run home run to really put the cherry on top of that game. Parker Burt getting that first home run of the summer. Really good to see him get back in the positive side of things after struggling a little bit down there in Ridgefield. And you can't forget about the performance on the mound last night for Yakima Valley. Bodie Ramsey was nothing short of magnificent. He gave the Pippins what he needed to do. 7 dominant innings, 3 hits, only 1 run, and it was a home run for the Raptors. So why is that crucial tonight? Well, Ramsey really helped out the Pippins bullpen. The staff is as rested as it's going to be. Only 2 men coming out of the pen following Bodie last night. And after a very long travel day today, it's going to be a tough task to come in here to Edmonton, despite the fact the Riverhawks sit at 4-7 on the year. You get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you hop on a bus, you cross the border at around 7 o'clock, you get to the airport at around 8:30, you fly out at 11:15, you land here, losing an hour at about 2:45, getting checked into the hotel, grabbing some food, and immediately here to the ballpark. It's been nothing short of a long day for Yakima Valley. We'll have to see how they respond as we take on the last 3 games of this road trip up here north of the border in Alberta, Canada. Who's hot tonight for Yakima Valley? Well, Parker Burt continues to put up good numbers to start the year. 471 batting average through 12 games. He is the middle heart of this order. He will be in there batting 4th again tonight. Daichi Furuhata, of course, Mr. Consistent. He's trying to get another hit streak going after his 9-game hit streak was snapped during the middle game down in Ridgefield on Wednesday. Derek Almeida not with the team for this weekend. But when he gets back with the team on Tuesday, he's going to have to continue to perform at 348 batting average. Pippins are certainly going to miss his bat during this 3-game weekend series. Almeida not making the trip to Edmonton. Josh Mawhinney going to be the starter tonight for the Pips. He's 2-0 on the year, a 0 ERA, 19 strikeouts to lead the West Coast League. Just 11 innings he has pitched. He's going to look to build on that and continue to put up potential all-star caliber numbers and set the tone here in Edmonton this weekend. The Riverhawks, historically one of the toughest draws on the road simply because of the travel. They pack Remax Field night in, night out. It's certainly a hard environment to play in as well, averaging anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 fans depending on the season. Tonight, no exception. Baseball goes Bollywood, as you might be able to hear in the background. It's a celebration of Punjabi culture and a lot of live performances. There's going to be a dance party following a fireworks show tonight. You've got a pretty good crowd filing in. It's hard to really put into perspective just how big the crowd is compared to the rest of the West Coast League. This stadium sits 9,200 people. And so you might see quite a few open seats, but there's still twice as many people as you're going to see at any of the bigger ballparks in the WCL. You think of Goss Stadium, you think of Yakima County Stadium, which holds 2,800. You think of some of these other places that are known for good crowds, Portland's Walker Stadium as well. You're just going to see that large contingent of fans spread out more throughout this former AAA ballpark here in the north central part of Alberta. And so for the Pippins, they get ready to take on yet another road test as they come into this one 3-3 on the season on the road away from Yakima County Stadium. It's been a bit of a struggle. They dropped their first series of the year when it came on the road. They struggled offensively down in Springfield during their first road trip. And as I mentioned earlier on, just a tough day if you're a Yakima Valley Pippin trying to get everything done after a late night game last night, catching a few hours of sleep before a very early morning departure, and then spending the day sitting, trying to sleep in buses or airplanes, in the airport, even crossing the border. But we're here. We're here for the first time. The Pippins playing here at Remax Field, playing the Edmonton Riverhawks for the first time in their franchise's history. This is the first time the Pippins have been to the province of Alberta in their franchise's history. And of course, the Riverhawks continue to be one of the most popular teams in the West Coast League, thanks to a wide variety of promotional nights and, of course, the draw of this beautiful stadium here on the banks of the North Saskatchewan River. Pippins in the country of Canada have a decent history. You got to remember, for more than half of Yakima Valley's franchise history, the Pippins played in the North Division. And around the 2020s era, more and more teams started to pop up in the country of Canada. Obviously, Victoria has been around for a long time. You've got Kelowna, who's been around for a long time. The Pippins have seen them quite a bit, as well as the Nanaimo Night Owls. But in terms of Kamloops Northpaws and the Edmonton Riverhawks, the Pippins have really not seen them at all. Again, first time ever that these two teams will meet up on the baseball diamonds. It comes here on a Friday night in Edmonton. The Pippins playing Kamloops. They've only played 6 games against the one of the newest teams in the West Coast League. And so certainly some uncharted territory here for Yakima Valley as the cultural presentations continue down on the field. Beautiful ballpark here at Remax Field. Again, a former professional ballpark, former AAA ballpark, and it's got the dimensions of such a ballpark. Left field line is going to be 340 to the pole, or if you're using the metric system, it's 103.6 meters. Left center field gap is 378 feet. The two center field straightaways are 420 feet away from home plate. Right center field 395, and then a very jagged cut in to the right field pole at 320 feet. And so certainly some opportunities to leave the yard if you're a left-handed stick, as the right field foul pole comes ever closer to the plate compared to the left field side. The only problem is the ballpark is oriented to the southwest direction, and so you're usually going to see a wind blowing across the field from right to left, meaning you're really going to have to muscle one out to get it over that right field wall. A completely different style of ballpark than the Pippins were just in down in Ridgefield when they were playing the Raptors. As we continue the pregame ceremonies here on the field at Remax Stadium, the Pippins and the Edmonton Riverhawks in 2 completely different divisions, in 2 completely different spots in their divisions. This is actually both teams' first time seeing a non-division opponent. Pippins have played all 12 of their games against the South Division. Edmonton has played all 11 games. Remember, they were rained out during the opening weekend against North Division opponents. And so you look at the standings coming into today. Ridgefield and Walla Walla lead the WCL South at 8-4. Of course, Ridgefield suffering a loss last night at the hand of Yakima Valley. Walla Walla took 2 of 3 on their road trip up in Kelowna. Corvallis has climbed out of the cellar a little bit. They are now 7-4. The Pippins a half game behind them in 4th place, sitting at 7-5. Corvallis and Marion did not play on Tuesday of this week, instead opting for an off day or a non-league contest. And so the Knights and the Berries a half game not played compared to the rest of the teams that have played a complete season so far. The Berries sit below the Portland Pickles. Portland at 5-4. They are getting back into their regular season tonight. The Berries at 6-5, and then at the bottom 2 spots of the WCL South, you've got the Bend Elks at 3-6, and the Springfield Drifters at 3-9. A couple of tough starts to the year for a couple of South Division opponents. In the North, Wenatchee leads the way at 8-3 on the year. Bellingham close behind at 7-5, as is Nanaimo with the same record. Everybody else below 500. Kelowna at 5-7, Victoria at 5-7, Edmonton 4-7, Kamloops 4-7, Port Angeles 3-8 on the season. And so a little bit more of a struggle in the North Division to find the win column. Taking a look now at the schedule for tonight, everybody's starting a new series after we gave you the standings. It's the bottom of the fifth inning in Bellingham. The Bells lead the Portland Pickles by a score of 2-1. Everybody else about to get started. Of course, us up here in the Mountain Time Zone will get started about a half hour ahead of everybody else. Nanaimo hosting Wenatchee tonight. That's a 6:35 p.m. Pacific start time. Corvallis is down in Bend tonight. That game about to get underway. Ridgefield down in Salem taking on the Marion Berries. That game about to get underway as well. Walla Walla continues their Canadian stretch on the road as they go to Kamloops to take on the North Paws. So they were in Kelowna, now they're in Kamloops. That game about to start at 6:35 p.m. And then the Port Angeles Lefties at the Kelowna Falcons tonight. So Kelowna stays home. The Lefties trying to crawl out of the cellar in the north. The other game scheduled for tonight, Springfield at Victoria. So quite a few South Division teams playing in the north right now, especially in the country of Canada. Springfield is in Victoria, Walla Walla is in Kamloops, and of course the Pippins here in Edmonton. One other stateside team, Wenatchee, is at Nanaimo tonight. So certainly quite a bit of baseball action across the Canadian provinces here in the West Coast League, Alberta and British Columbia. They do the ceremonial first pitch down on the field. And as we inch closer to the start of this first game here in Edmonton for the Pippins in their history, let's bring you the starting lineups for both of these squads. First, for the home team, the Edmonton Riverhawks, they sit at 4-7 on the year. They are managed by Jake Lanferman, the head coach here for the Riverhawks. Drew Viatch will start. He plays center field. He will wear number 2. The shortstop, Cole Kreisel, will bat second. He wears number 10. Finnegan Stewart, the left fielder, wears number 57. He will bat third. Easton Andrews, one of the toughest sticks to keep off the base pads and keep from driving runs home, is the designated hitter tonight. He'll bat cleanup. He will wear number 51. Jason Green is the catcher tonight. He wears number 32. Matt Van Slyke is playing second base. He wears number 25, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Kataro Wakui, the right fielder. He wears number 31. Tony Moore is the third baseman. He wears number 34. He'll bat eighth. And the first baseman, number 15, Braden Scott, will round it out and bat ninth, playing first base. So again for Edmonton, Viatch, Kreisel, Stewart, Andrews, Green, Van Slyke, Wakui, Moore, and Scott. Their starting pitcher today is Chase Halverson. He will face the Yakima Valley Pippins in the top half of the first inning. Plate meeting going on right now between our umpiring crew and the managers. Here's the starting lineup for your Yakima Valley Pippins, sitting at 7-5 on the season under the direction of Kyle Crestangel in his 5th season as the manager of the Pippins. Jay O'Neill back in the lineup today, leading it off. He'll play center field and wear number 7. Daichi Furuhata is the third baseman. He will bat second and wear number 26. Nick Velasquez is back at first base. He will wear number 17 and bat third. Parker Burt, the designated hitter, will bat cleanup and wear number 25. Abdul Ramos continues to catch behind the dish tonight as he will wear number 5 and bat fifth. He's been swinging a hot bat as of late. Luis Garcia will play right field today. He wears number 15, batting sixth. Batting seventh is the left fielder, number 3, Tyson Miller, the speedy outfielder from CSU Bakersfield. Batting eighth is the second baseman, number 30, Cam Fleck, moving over from short to play second base today. And Levi Correa rounds out the lineup for Coach Krusty, playing shortstop and wearing number 1. So again for the Pippins, it's O'Neill, Furuhata, Velasquez, Burt, Ramos, Garcia, Miller, Fleck, and Correa. Starting pitcher tonight for Yakima Valley will be Josh Mawhinney. Mentioned him earlier today, making his 3rd start of the year. He's 2-0. He's got 19 strikeouts. He's looking to build on the West Coast lead in that category tonight. It's a Friday night here in Edmonton. A lot of festivities going on here at the ballpark. Some notable things about this beautiful playing surface we have out here today. It's a turf infield, and so the stripes going from top to bottom and alternating dark and light green colors. The infield dirt is more of your traditional color. Of course, it is turf. The mound obviously has been replaced once. It's got a fresh carpet on the slope. And then the outfield grass is natural grass. And they obviously had an event here earlier this year because there are a few brown patches out beyond the shortstop and second base positions in the field. There's also a little bit of wear and tear from where the center fielder normally stands out in center field. So we'll see how the Hops play tonight, and we'll see how this ballpark plays tonight. Everything in foul territory is turf, though. And so the only natural grass you have on this field is the outfield inside the foul lines, and then the warning track as well appears to be red rock. The rest of the warning track is that same turf that you see on the infield. If you're syncing up the audio of this call with the stream from the Riverhawks, you can kind of see what I mean. But I'll do my best to explain it to you as we go along, as the Riverhawks take the field, accompanied by some young future ball players, and the Pippins line up on their dugout line on the first base side, getting ready for a couple of national anthem presentations. I was told we get both the American and the Canadian national anthems tonight, as it something cool down here I was not made aware of. There is a live hawk down in a handler's mitt. I believe that's going to be a part of the national anthems here in a couple of seconds. Everybody set. Crowd will rise here. We'll pause for the national anthems of both the United States and the country of Canada. Should have said it. I mean, I'm not going to. Sleeping, whose broad stripes and blood songs through the sky or the works scarcely streaming and the thankful banner wave. Swim out in come out with glowing hearts we see rise the true north strong and free from far and wide oh Canada we stand on
keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. My birthday Saturday, birthdays, that is something, and I'm like, okay, and today release.
Couple of beautiful renditions of each country's respective national anthems, the Star Spangled Banner, and of course, O Canada. Here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, north of the border, the Pippins taking on the Edmonton Riverhawks in the first game of a 3-game weekend series. Welcome back to the broadcast, everybody. Harmon Johnsen with you. Glad we've made the trip. So glad that we made it here in one piece. We didn't have very many struggles getting places. And we are now here in Edmonton, ready to bring you baseball on a beautiful Friday night. Pippins will send up Jay O'Neill, Daichi Furuhata, and Nick Velasquez to face the right-handed pitcher Chase Halverson, making his third appearance on the season for the Edmonton Riverhawks. For Halverson, he has thrown 4 1/3 innings in 2 games, 1 start, 5 hits, 6 runs he has allowed, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, 1 strikeout for Halverson, who wears number 14. He hails from Utah Valley University, 6'2", 165. It's a battle of UVU tonight, as Josh Mawhinney was recently in the state of Utah as well. He is in the portal looking for a new place to play, and he's certainly making a case to do so. With his 19 strikeouts, he will pitch second today. Pippins on the road here in Edmonton. Halverson, a big, tall right-hander out there on the hill, 6'2", 165. Incoming sophomore is ready to go here in Edmonton. The defense for the Riverhawks looks like this. Stewart in left, Vitek in center field, Wakui in right, Moore, Kreisel, Van Slyke, and Scott on the infield, left to right. Green catching for Chase Halverson. Riverhawks wearing their home white uniforms. Across the chest in a script blue is Hawks, as well as a dark navy blue uniform. They're wearing pinstripes as well. Jay O'Neill digs in. First pitch fouled back. Strike one. 7:09 p.m. start in the Mountain Time Zone for all of you following along back home in Yakima. Temperature has switched over to Celsius. We'll get you the reading in Fahrenheit in just a moment after an 0-1 pitch from Chase Halverson out of the full windup. The swing by O'Neill is out towards very shallow left field. Drifting back, Kreisel, the shortstop. He puts it away. 1 up and 1 down. Let's bring up Daichi Furuhata. So for those of you that want the metric system, it's 17 degrees Celsius. That translates to 62 degrees for those of you that don't understand the conversion. Daichi Furuhata digs in, out of the windup, the first pitch from Halverson down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Halverson sitting in the mid-80s. Fastball going to be around 86 to 87 tonight. Cooler night, cloudy. 1-0 pitch out of the windup. Upstairs to Daichi. 2 balls, no strikes. Home plate umpire tonight is MJ Willis. It's a 3-man crew tonight as Scott Eichhart is down at first and Brandon Strokey is over at third. 2 balls, no strikes. Daichi lines one back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Daichi takes 87 right back where it came from. Pippins 1 away, but a hit here in the first. Good to see Daichi in back-to-back games pick up a hit. Here's Nick Velasquez. Velasquez batting from the left side against the right-hander Halverson. Certainly a party-like atmosphere here at Edmonton. A lot of music, a lot of fans in the stands. First pitch for Nick fouled straight back 0-1. Velasquez wearing number 67 today. The number 17 currently whereabouts unknown for Velasquez. So he'll get by wearing a little bit more of an ironic number. No balls, one strike. Halverson out of the stretch for the first time. Daichi at first. 0-1. Top of the zone, called a strike by MJ Willis. Moves the count to 0-2. Slight breeze blowing in from right field, keeping everybody cool in this grandstand. Very steep grandstand, but good view of the ballpark. Pickoff over to first, not in time. I'm not very good at math, but I would say we're at half capacity or more of this 9,200 person stadium. No balls, two strikes. Halverson, a long pause. Now he brings it home. Nick back up the middle. This is going to die in front of the second baseman Van Slyke. The shortstop Kreisel gets there, but the throw on to first is not in time to get Nick Velasquez. Back-to-back hits for the Yakima Valley Pippins. They're in business here in the first inning. That'll bring up Parker Burt, Yakima Valley today wearing the green tops, white numerals, gray pants. They'll have green caps to go along with them. Assortment of black socks, green socks as well. Halverson in some trouble here in the first inning. First pitch, breaking ball, called a strike to Parker Burt. Home plate umpire MJ Willis is wearing the more traditional cold weather sport coat look behind the dish. Don't see that very often in summer ball. Only about 60 degrees here in Edmonton. 0-1. This is ripped out towards left field. Parker gave it a ride. He's looking up. Stewart watches it off the scoreboard. Yakima Valley, weary legs, tired bodies. 3-0 on Parker Burt's second home run of the season. What a start here in Edmonton for the Pippins. 3-0. Only one out on the board. That thing was walloped out towards left field. Here's Abel Ramos. Ramos hit by the first pitch he sees, stumbling backward, helmet coming off. He's going to pick up the lid and trot down to first. Halverson a little bit rattled after giving up the home run to Parker Burt. Coach Crustangel making sure his catcher is all right. Here comes Luis Garcia. Pippins flying through the order here in the first inning. Luis playing right field today from New York, New York. First pitch he sees, outer half. Called a strike, it's 0-1. Great view up here from the press box. I'm not in the normal spot I would usually be because of the Baseball Goes Bollywood night tonight. They actually have a Punjabi language broadcast tonight as Garcia fouls one back into the screen 0-2. So he's over in the radio booth for the visiting team. I'm out here with the group. We've met some of the local media. Everybody seems friendly so far. No balls, two strikes, one away. Luis Garcia trying to continue this hit parade. 3 hits so far for Yakima Valley, 2 singles, and a home run by Parker Burt. 0-2, Luis takes high and tight. Fastball at 88 there from Halverson. Velocity's still good. Control a little suspect the last 2 batters. Jay O'Neill popped up to start this first inning, to start the game. 1-2, breaking ball, grounded over to third. Moore backs up. He fires on to second for one. That is the only play they'll have. Garcia grounds into a fielder's choice. Ramos out at second. So Garcia replaces Ramos over there at first. Here's left-handed hitting Tyson Miller. Miller coming off of a couple of good games down in Ridgefield. 2 for 5 yesterday. He was on base 4 times. Luis leaning towards second. Not going. First pitch well upstairs from Halverson. 1 ball, no strikes. Just underway here at Remax Field. Pippins lead at 3-0 thanks to a 3-run home run by Parker Burt here in the first. Garcia's running this time. The pitch bounces away from the catcher Green. He doesn't know where it is. Garcia slid into second. Stolen base for Luis. He was off before the pitch was thrown. 2-0 to Tyson Miller. Third lefty to hit for the Pippins today. Facing this right-handed arm. Halverson comes set with his back turned towards the plate. 2-0, sent straight back. 2 balls, 1 strike. We've got 2 pairs of ball kids down on the field. We've got a couple ball boys over on the Riverhawks side on third base side. Looks like a couple of ball girls down over on the Pippins side on first base. 2-1. Tyson takes high and away. That's ball 3. If Miller could walk, you'd have first and second with 2 away for Cam Fleck. Halverson has the sign he wants. Now comes set at the stomach. 3-1 pitch. Tyson slowly chopped to the mound. Halverson sticks the glove up. Underhand flips onto first. The inning is over, but not before Yakima Valley gets 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 Pippin left on base. Parker Burt gets us started on the right foot. Yakima Valley leads at 3-0. Riverhawks coming up on offense for the first time next. Bottom of the first inning here at Remax Field. Pippins and Riverhawks just getting underway. Josh Mowini finishes his warm-up pitches. He's pitched 11 innings in 2 games so far this year. He's 2-0 on the season. 3 runs, none of them earned. So a clean ERA for Josh. 5 walks, 19 strikeouts to lead the West Coast League. He'll face Drew Veach, Cole Kreisel, and Finnegan Stewart to lead it off here for the 4-7 Riverhawks. Defense behind Mowini is Miller in left, O'Neill in center, Garcia in right. Furahada, Correa, Fleck, and Velasquez on the infield left to right. And Abel Ramos doing the catching for Josh Mowini. Drew Veach. Mowini's first pitch. Downstairs at 90 on the radar gun. 1-0. You did see Josh have quite a few long at-bats in his first outing of the year. That was against Walla Walla. He settled in, went 6 innings in his next outing against the Marion Berries as he misses well outside 2-0. He'll mix in a fastball that has some firmness to it, a changeup, and a breaking ball with more horizontal than vertical movement. 2-0. Mawhinney misses high and in. Count immediately 3-0 to Drew Veach. Veach from Pittsburgh State University, and no, that's not in Pennsylvania. That is in Kansas. 3-0. There's a strike. The bat was flipped by Drew Veach over to his on-deck circle. MJ Willis says, hang on a minute. At least one more pitch you'll have to see here. Mawhinney in the count now. 3 balls, 1 strike. Out of the full windup at the middle of the rubber. 3-1. That one did miss outside. That's ball 4. Veach draws the walk to lead off for the Riverhawks. Now here's Cole Kreisel, University of Central Missouri product, 5'9", 180 in the left-hand batter's box. He's playing shortstop today. On the season batting .229. Scratch that. That was the team batting average. Kreisel on the year. The first pitch is in on the outer half for a strike, 0-1. He's batting .250. 2 RBI. This is his 3rd game. Veach over at first with about a 2-step lead. Velasquez holding him on. Throw over there, and it gets away from Nick, and it gets out of play. Entitled to second base is Drew Veach as the ball bounces over down the tunnel between a dugout suite and the Pippins' actual dugout. Early error here on Josh Mawhinney. Not exactly what you want to see. Up by 3. 0-1. Breaking ball outer half. Called a strike. 0-2. Looking for that first out is Josh. Righty-lefty matchup. Mawhinney on the hill. The lefty Kreisel in the box. Josh takes a look out towards second. The 0-2. High and away. 90 again on the radar gun. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kreisel from Warrensburg, Missouri. 2 hits and 8 at-bats so far this year. This is his 9th trip to the plate. 1-2, well outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's also walked once to go along with a sacrifice hit. His season just getting started, playing in his 3rd game for the Riverhawks. Mawhinney takes a look to second. 2-2 pitch. Half swing. Did he go? Appeal down to 3rd. No. So after Josh had him ahead 0-2, the count has run full. Mawhinney's still looking for that first out here in the ball game. Pippins lead it 3-0. Mawhinney set at the belt. Takes a look to second. Payoff pitch. That is upstairs, ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued here by Josh Mawhinney. And just like that, the tying run going to come to the plate. Ethan Salscheider going to go out and have a chat with his starting pitcher. Early mound visit here by Salsa. You know he's got to be concerned for his starter, who had to find whatever comfort he could on the bus for about 5 hours, getting some sleep, and then, of course, on the plane. I think Josh was lucky enough he didn't have anybody sitting next to him, so he had some open leg room, but definitely you're asking a lot of the body to then come out and pitch at a very high level in front of a very large crowd. Pippins have not seen a crowd this large. This might be about the combined number of people that was in Ridgefield all weekend, or all week. First pitch on the way to Finnegan Stewart. It bends in for a strike, 0-1. Tell you what, the music is bleeding into the windup from Mawhinney here. It does the same for Halverson on the other side of the ball. Something to watch as this game goes along. 0-1, breaking ball down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm all for fun, but you do have to respect when these guys are engaged with each other. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mawhinney peers in, comes set at the belt. Lead runner is Veach at second. He takes off, as does the trail runner. The hit and run on. Luis Garcia slides. He can't make the catch. A late break towards the plate. Here comes the lead runner, Veach. He will score. Runners at the corners. Riverhawks get one back. It's 3-1. RBI single for Finnegan Stewart. They almost ran into a couple of outs on the hit and run, but Garcia unable to put that one in his pocket. And so Mawhinney's still looking for that first out. Here's Easton Andrews, a tough guy to get out. Coach Crustangel trying to direct traffic. Pippins infield saying they can't hear him. It's a deep shift at second base for Fleck. Runners at the corners. First pitch high and away by Josh Mawhinney. Easton Andrews, what more can't you say about one of the hottest bats, at least in the North Division, if not in the entire West Coast League? 5'11", 230 in that left-hand batter's box, but he's got 17 hits. Down and in, 2 balls, no strikes. 6 of those 17 hits are doubles. 3 of them are home runs. He leads the league in both of those categories, as well as runs batted in with 20. The cleanup hitter has runners at the corners right now as Mawhinney misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes. A walk would load the bases. There's nobody out. Pippins got the early lead, 3-0 on a home run by Parker Burt. 1 run already in here for the Riverhawks. Lead runner is Kreisel at third. Stewart is at first after the RBI single. The 3-0 pitch taking all the way Andrews. 3-1 the count. Again, Mawhinney just looking for an out anywhere. At this point, if you're Yakima Valley, you trade a double play for that run coming home to score from third. Mawhinney brings home the 3-1. Andrews takes it for a strike, and the count runs full. On the season for Andrews, he's only struck out 5 times. So very tough put away here for Mawhinney. Payoff. In towards the back foot. That is ball 4. Josh spins off the mound in frustration. Ramos trying to calm down his infield, trying to calm down his righty. 3 walks issued here by Josh Mawhinney. Now Jason Green, the batter. Jason Green, catcher from Niagara University. Native of Ohio. Out of the windup, Mawhinney misses outside, ball 1 to Green. Shouldn't say Ohio, I should say Georgetown, Ontario. Apparently, I don't know the difference between the letter H and the letter N. 1-0. Mawhinney working quickly, fires a strike at the letters to make it 1-1. Kreisel at third, Stewart at second, Andrews at first. You do have a force play anywhere. Pippins will play corner infield in, middle infield back. Outfield straight up right now against the lefty stick, Green. 1-1, wave and a miss on a breaking ball. Winnie gets him to go fishing. So 1-2 the count. Josh looking for strikeout number 20 on the year. From the full windup, the 1-2 pitch on the way home. This is drilled out towards right center field. Garcia drifting onto the track. O'Neill there as well. O'Neill will make the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Cole Kreisel. Moving up to second is Finnegan, or moving up from second is Finnegan Stewart. Andrews stays put. Another run scores for the Riverhawks. It's 3-2 on the sacrifice fly by Jason Green. There's the first out for Josh Mawhinney. Maybe he'll be able to settle in now. Matt Van Slyke digs in to face Mawhinney. He'll have to go back to the stretch with runners at the corners. First pitch, down and in, according to MJ Willis. 1-0. Andrews not necessarily a stolen base threat over at first. More of a get the bags when the ball is hit type of guy. 1-0, high and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Mawhinney just seems to be rushing everything. I know Josh likes to work quick, but he's in his own head right now. Peers over to first and Andrews. Tying run over at third. Here's a pitch down and in. Moves the count to 3-0. Walk would reload the bases ahead of the 7-hole hitter for Edmonton. 3-0 from Josh. This rides inside, and it's ball 4. 4 walks issued by Mawhinney here in the first frame. Pips still have the lead for now, as Kotaro Wakui digs in, playing right field today. Wakui, a left-hander. He's from Niigata, Japan. Familiar with some of the guys on this Pippins lineup, as the first pitch from Josh misses outside ball 1 at 91 miles an hour. He goes to Southwestern Oregon State. Couple Pippins bats from Western Oklahoma. So although they might not have played each other, might have crossed paths. 1-0, heart of the plate, 1-1. If nothing else, familiar with the same area. Mawhinney back to the full windup. Corners pinched for Yakima Valley. 1-1, there's a strike on the bottom corner. Outer part of the plate, 1-2. Man, if Josh could find a ground ball somewhere for a double play and somehow keep the lead after all of this, might give you a sense of relief. 1-2. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You know Josh's mind is probably racing a million miles an hour. Pippins do have action in their bullpen. 2-2. Mawhinney from the full windup. Downstairs, no place to put Wakui. The count is full. There's 1 out on the board. It was a sacrifice fly by Jason Green. Edmonton's 7th hitter to the plate here in the first inning. Payoff pitch from Josh. On the ground, slowly foul past the first base coaching box. We'll do it again. Good crowd has filed in here to Remax Field. Again, there's still sections that appear to be empty, but you compare this to the rest of the West Coast League, undoubtedly more fans than any other stadium. Payoff high and away, ball 4. And the Riverhawks have this game tied. That is now 5 walks issued by Mawhinney. That is the amount of walks he had coming into this game through 2 appearances. Tony Moore, the number 8 hitter, will come up to the plate. Still only 1 out. First pitch drills him. Mawhinney hands on hips. Another run comes home to score. Coach Crustangel, I think, has seen enough of his righty. He's going to allow the new arm to finish 1 more pitch before making the signal. Josh Mawhinney is only going to get 1 out in this contest. He walked 5, he hit 1, he's allowed 4 runs to cross the plate, and the bases are loaded here in the bottom of the first inning. New arm coming in for Yakima Valley, not the way you want to start in the bottom half of the first. 4-3 Riverhawks. We'll be right back. Back to Edmonton. Riverhawks have taken the lead 4-3 as Josh Mowini goes a third of an inning, giving up 1 hit. So far, all 4 runs his responsibility. The bases are loaded, so 3 more he's still on the hook for. 5 walks, no strikeouts, and a hit batter. And so Bo Lloyd will come in a tough situation. There's only 1 out in the offensive side of the first inning for Edmonton. You've got the number 9 hole hitter Braden Scott, and then the top of the Edmonton order looming. It looked so good for Yakima Valley. A 3-run home run by Parker Burt in the top half of this frame. But Mowini just unable to find the strike zone with any sort of consistency. Throws around 35 pitches. Lloyd, first pitch out of the bullpen. Misses downstairs. Ball 1. The ball bounces away from Ramos on a little bit of an odd play. No advance by any of the runners. 1 ball, no strikes. Lloyd most recently worked June 10th at Ridgefield when an inning giving up 1 run. It was unearned. His longest outing of the year is 3 innings against the Marion Berries, giving up 3 hits but no runs. Set at the chest, the 1-0. This gets away from Ramos and all the way to the backstop. The Riverhawks played another one. This is Matt Van Slyke who comes across the plate to score. The other 2 runners move up 90 feet. Oh my. 2-0 the count to Braden Scott. Waiting to see if that is a wild pitch or a passed ball. It is a passed ball. Lloyd now with runners at second and third, both of them still belonging to Mowini. 2-0. There's a strike at the letters. 2-1. This first frame is taking forever to complete. We started at 7:09 local. It's now 7:40 local. Here in the Mountain Time Zone for all of you listening back in Yakima or wherever you may be. 2-1. Another strike from Lloyd on the outer half of the plate. Count now 2-2. Pips just searching for outs. 4 of the 5 walks that Mowini allowed have come around to score. One more stands at third. The hit by pitch is at second. This ball bounces away from Ramos. A wild pitch is going to score another run for the Riverhawks. So now all but one of the runners attributed to Mawhinney have scored. Tony Moore moves up to third on the wild pitch. 6 runs have scored in the first inning. The one out so far in the frame was a sacrifice fly by Jason Green. Lefty Scott in a full count. Payoff from Lloyd. Downstairs, ball 4. This is just unheard of. Back to the top of the order for the Riverhawks. Drew Veach. Veach drew one of the walks in the, well, I guess we're still in the first inning. I guess good news for Yakima Valley. That first inning means there's still 8 left to play. But you got to find 2 more outs here, and quickly. The longer this inning lasts, the slimmer the light seems to be. Line drive on the first pitch, down for a hit into center field. Stopping at second base is Braden Scott. RBI single for Drew Veach. All 7 runs that have crossed the plate attributed to Josh Mawhinney. There's 2 aboard and still only 1 out. Well, now what do? Cole Kreisel walked earlier this inning. Would come around to score. First pitch, he fouls at the plate. 0-1. Well, if you're Lloyd, you don't want to just serve up meatballs, but you do realize that the longer this inning lasts, maybe the more aggressive the bats will get, trying to get hits instead of walks. Lloyd takes a look out to second. The 0-1 is on the ground out toward short. Correa flips to second for 1. The relay on to first is in time, double play. Riverhawks fans don't like it, but I think they've had enough to cheer about so far here in this first inning. 7 runs cross the plate. The Pippins issue 6 walks in the first frame, and we go to the second inning. Riverhawks lead it 7-3 here in Edmonton. Welcome back to Remax Field. The first inning is finally over. 10 runs between the 2 teams score. Unfortunately for the Pippins, they're on the short end of that. 3 runs in their half of the first. And then the Riverhawks send 11 men to the plate. 7 of them score, 2 of them get hits. It was a 6-4-3 double play that ultimately ended the side. Cam Fleck, Levi Correa, and Jay O'Neill to hit here in the second inning. Pippin's already about to go to their top of the order for the second time. Hope you like offense. We've got it so far. First pitch, a breaking ball well outside in the left-hand batter's box to Cam Fleck. Fleck playing second base today for Yakima Valley. As the next pitch he sees is a strike on the outer half, 1-1. For Cam, went 0 for 4 during the series against the Ridgefield Raptors, batting 111 on the season. 1-1, fouled back into the netting. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, you be around this game long enough and you see a lot of things, but I don't think I've ever seen 7 runs on just 2 hits in an inning. Fleck down to his final strike here in the second. The 1-2 from Halverson. Breaking ball upstairs, 2-2. He had to wait quite a while to get back out onto the field after he allowed 3 runs in the Pippins half of the first. Well rested and ready to pitch with a 4-run lead. 2-2 upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Started at 7:09 p.m. We're nearing 7:50 already. This is the second inning. Payoff is sent out towards shallow center field. Reaching over Veach. Says he has it. He does. 1 away in the Pippins top half of the second. Levi Correa, the shortstop for Yakima Valley, strolls to the plate. Lots of foul territory here. The dugouts are clear over by the bags. So it's a long walk from the seating area for the players out to the field of play. Correa swinging first pitch. He swings through it. No balls and a strike. Again, the good news with this 4-run deficit for Yakima Valley, there's still a lot of baseball to be played, but you're going to have to figure something out defensively, especially on the hill. 0-2 now as the fastball hummed in on the outer half by Halverson. Pips will get the top of the order up next with Jay O'Neill. 0-2, well outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Halverson tried too hard to perfect that slider. Instead, pulling it out to the left-hand batter's box. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. That's upstairs. Count runs now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Three runs on 3 hits for Yakima Valley in their first inning. 7 runs on 2 hits for Edmonton in their first inning. 2-2 to Correa. A fastball blown right by him. Correa swings through. First strikeout of the day for Halverson. 2 away here in the second inning. Back to the top of the order for Yakima Valley, Jay O'Neill. O'Neill kicks the bat with both feet and then digs into the left-hand side. Popped up to the shortstop to start this game. First pitch, foul ball. 0-1. Velocity still looks good for Halverson, up in the higher 80s now. That last pitch registered at 88. Halverson peers in for the sign. Jay waves the stick slowly. 0-1, sent foul over the stands. No balls, 2 strikes. Somebody out near the front gate will have a souvenir when they walk out tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. Jay trying to give us something positive here in the second inning. The pitch is a breaking ball swung out towards center field. Veach again ranging over to his right, drifting backwards a few steps in front of the track. He makes the catch. Pippins retired in order in the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. Bottom of the second inning is next. The Riverhawks lead it 7-3 going to the bottom of the second. Welcome back to Remax Field here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Pippins International for the first and only time this season. They will host a couple of North Division teams, including the Kelowna Falcons, during the end of this month. And so we'll get the chance to play O Canada at the Orchard. Of course, it will then be followed by the Star Spangled Banner, whereas tonight and the rest of this weekend, USA's national anthem comes first, and then the home country, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Edmonton, the capital of the province of Alberta. You can actually see the Capitol building when you're driving into the ballpark from the south, looking north. Finnegan Stewart leads off the second inning for the Riverhawks. First pitch off the end of the bat over the head of Correa and into left field for a base knock. Two-hit night for Finnegan Stewart. We're in the second inning. Riverhawks started off with a leadoff base runner just like they did the first. Hopefully this inning doesn't last quite as long. 11 men came to the plate in the first. 7 of them scored. 6 of them walked. 2 of them picked up hits. Pippins playing a definite infield pull on the ground for Easton Andrews, who walked back in the first inning. He shows bunt. He's going to bunt it up the third baseline foul. 0-1. The only man over there is Furahada. You've got Correa playing on the second base side of the bag, now stepping almost directly behind the second base bag. Fleck in very shallow right field. Velasquez holding the runner on at first. Daichi the only man on the left half of the infield. We'll see if Andrews decides to bunt again. He does not. The pitch, a breaking ball. It's outside. 1-1 the count. Andrews, the designated hitter in tonight's contest. Slide step from Bo. There's a strike on the outer half. 1-2 strikes on the docket. First out on defense for the Pippins didn't come until the 5th batter in the first inning. The second out didn't come until a double play was turned with the number 2-hole hitter up for the second time. Lloyd peers in for the sign. Comes set right at his letters. 1-2. Bounces away from Ramos. And moving up to second is Finnegan Stewart. Man, the Pippins backstop having some issues with balls downstairs on this turf. Lloyd, of course, spiking it, so more than likely a wild pitch, but it's not like Ramos to just let those go by him. 2-2 the count to Easton Andrews. The pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. It's been tough for both pitchers trying to steal strikes, but Pippin's offense has been swinging a lot earlier than these Edmonton hitters. And when Edmonton gets behind in the count, they usually fight their way back. Payoff is nowhere close on a breaking ball outside. Andrews draws his second walk of the game. 2 on, nobody out. Certainly don't want to be headed back towards what we had in the first inning. Jason Green hit a sacrifice fly back in that first frame. Green, a left-handed stick. Lloyd set at the letters. First pitch, high and away. Ball 1. There's an exclusive club down on the field level. The backstop netting just peers right through it. You wonder how different a perspective it is for these Pippins hitters who are so used to the normal backstop or the backstop at the orchard, which is double the height of a normal backstop. Foul ball at the plate through the legs of the home plate umpire, M.J. Willis. 1-1. I mean, you think about it sometimes in like high school basketball, at least where I come from in Nebraska, you play most of your small town schools and your small town gyms. You get to Pinnacle Bank Arena, which is the home of the Nebraska Cornhuskers of the Big Ten, a 15,000 seat arena. It sometimes takes a quarter or two to adjust to perspective. 1 ball, 1 strike. This pitch fouled off of the body of Jason Green at the plate. It's 1-2. Now, I'm not making excuses. The mound is still 60 feet 6 inches from home plate. But it is a very different feel here at Remax Field. I was down on the field briefly before the game. You can just kind of feel the stands looming over your shoulder. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lloyd looking for a strikeout. Not on this pitch. It's a breaking ball outside to make the count 2-2. Pips have been able to get ahead in counts. That has not been the problem. Mawhinney fell behind in a few of his first at-bats, but he was competitive in most of them. Just ended up getting a couple of pitches outside the zone. Bo has been competitive in all of them, it seems, as another foul ball over towards the Pippins dugout this time off the bat of Green. That's got to be one of the most disheartening things as a pitcher, knowing that you were up in so many counts and seeing the walk number right now. 7 of them. And 1 hit by pitch as well. 2-2, staying alive. Jason Green, another foul ball over on the right side. How many more protection swings does Jason Green have in him? It's already 8 o'clock here in the Mountain Time Zone. 2-2, wave and a miss at a high fastball. Bo Lloyd picks up his first strikeout by any Pippins pitcher, actually. Still 2 on, 1 away. Matt Van Slyke, the scheduled hitter. Van Slyke from the University of British Columbia. Second baseman wearing number 25 for these Riverhawks in their white home uniforms with navy pinstripes, navy numerals, black socks, light blue batting helmets as Van Slyke squares the bunt. Now he pulls it back and takes a strike over the middle of the zone. 0-1. Going to say this about a lot of the guys that hit here in the second inning, but Van Slyke drew a walk and scored a run back in the first. Lloyd trying to build off of the first strikeout for Pippins pitching tonight. Runner dances off of second. Lloyd going to spin and throw that direction, not in time. It was Stewart out there taking an extra half step on his secondary, coaxing Lloyd over to the bag. Lowe takes a look out that way. 0-1 on the ground out towards short. Correa going to go to second for one. There will be no turn made by Fleck at second. Fielder's choice for Matt Van Slyke. Out at second is Easton Andrews. There's 2 away. So now runners at the corners. Kotaro Wakui walked, scored on a wild pitch. His walk was with the bases loaded, so he gets credited with an RBI. Wakui on that left-hand side takes a first pitch upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Lloyd so far working more efficiently than Mawhinney had in the first inning, here in his first full frame of relief. Ground ball back where it came from, off the second base bag and into center field. Riverhawks get another run on an RBI single by Kotaro Wakui. 8-3 the score. Hitting the bag was just insult to injury as it slowed the ball down on its way to center field. The run from third was going to score anyway. Van Slyke at second, Wakui at first on the RBI single. Tony Moore hit by a pitch in the first. He swings first pitch out to second base. Flex sliding, stopping it onto first, and the Pippins get out of the inning on a ground ball to Cam Fleck at second. Edmonton plates another run. There were 2 hits in the inning, no errors, and a couple left on the base pads for the Riverhawks. We go to the third inning, 8-3 Edmonton here at Remax Field. Welcome back to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Pippins across the border for the weekend as they're up here in the capital city of the province of Alberta, Edmonton. Nice town. A lot of things to do. Everything's structured nicely as well. I've been getting spoiled here in the booth. I'm not in my normal spot. I'm sitting out here with the other media. But water was brought to me during the half inning and a couple of lifesavers as well as Daichi Furuhata takes a first pitch strike. You can hear some of the clamoring from the crowd. They spun a wheel and Daichi ended up being the what they call weenie of the game. So if he strikes out, I think they give hot dogs to a bunch of fans. He's not going to strike out here as he grounds slowly out towards the shortstop Kreisel. The throw into first is high. It pulls Scott off the bag. Daichi going to be aboard, and the crowd here not going to get their weenies yet. Waiting on the official scoring. Pippins had 3 hits in the first inning. They rule it an infield single. Probably the right call. Daichi would have made it a close play with his legs. Here's Nick Velasquez. Daichi 2 for 2 today. He's a bright spot. Time called. Umpire asking that the drone not be flown so close to the infield. There's a drone hanging out behind the shortstop Kreisel that they use for crowd shots and in-between shots. I think MJ Willis is telling Jake Lamferman that that thing needs to be flown a little bit higher in the air. Otherwise, we're going to sting it with a ball. So we're going to pause play for a moment. The drone still hanging out there at second, and it's short. Still hasn't moved. That's got to be what it's about. Shortstop Kreisel, I don't think understands what's happening here. He turns around. Now he's telling the drone to move. The Riverhawks players are telling the drone, there it goes. It flies up a little bit higher into the atmosphere. Some cool toys here at Remax Field. That one got in the way of play, though. All right. Velasquez digs in for the first pitch of the at-bat against Halverson. Daichi at first. Nick on the ground out towards second. Might be two. Van Slyke on to Kreisel. The relay to first. Double play. 4-6-3. Daichi's infield single erased. 2 away here in the third for Yakima Valley. And Parker Burt up to the dish. I tell you what, they put that drone shot up on the video board in left field in between batters, and it is a cool shot to see the stands full and the game being played. I can understand the concern, though, from MJ Willis, as the first pitch Parker sees is lined into right field for a base hit. Pippins 2 hits in the inning, but one of them erased on a double play, one of them here with 2 outs. Pippins out hitting the Riverhawks now 5-4. Wish the scoreboard was that way as well, but Edmonton currently leads it 8-3. Abdel Ramos hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, takes a fastball high for ball 1. Ramos was hit up in the shoulder area back in the first inning. That was after Parker's 3-run home run. He swings and sends one softly out towards right. Wakui there, and he makes the catch to end the Pippins half of the third. A fly out to right, a double play in the inning as well. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base for Yakima Valley. To the bottom of the third, Edmonton leads it 8-3. Welcome back to Remax Field. A very energetic t-shirt toss taking place between the top and the bottom half of this third inning. Glad you're with us. We're an hour into the contest. I'm Harmon Johnsen, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. Pips find themselves down by 5, 8-3. Riverhawks have scored in both innings they've been up to the plate so far. 7 runs in the first inning, 1 run in the second. And now we get ready to play here in the third. Bo Lloyd trying to do damage control after Josh Mawhinney goes a third of an inning, giving up 1 hit, 7 runs, on 5 walks and a hit by pitch. Lloyd will face 9, 1, and 2 in the Edmonton order. Braden Scott walked back in the first inning, as did many of the Riverhawks. Lloyd ready to try to go to work here in the third. First pitch, slow tapper out towards the mound. Lloyd fielding his position, throws a dart onto first. One pitch, one out in the third frame. So that'll bring back the top of the order, Drew Veach. 1 for 1, an RBI single on his second trip to the plate in the first. He walked and scored as the leadoff man for the Riverhawks. Now hitting for the third time in as many innings. That means your offense doing something good, or in this case, the opposing pitching just unable to provide strikes. Ramos trying to frame a pitch downstairs, a slider at 72, ball one, as it popped out of the glove of the catcher from Venezuela. Veach in that right-hand batter's box holds the bat out in front of his shoulders as he takes a pitch over the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike. See if Yakima Valley can hang a 0, get a small win, and then try to build on it. 1-1, softly off the bat of Veach and out into right field for a base hit. Drew Veach has been on all 3 times today. 2 hits to his name. 1 out single for Edmonton. Here's Cole Kreisel. Kreisel walked in his first at-bat of the first. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the first inning. Veach an aggressive lead already over at first. Gotta remember Veach was awarded second base on an error by Mawhinney trying to pick off. Not going, big hack and a miss by Cole Kreisel on a downstairs fastball. 0-1. So the clean inning out the window for this third inning, but you could still hang a 0. A lot of baseball left to be played. We've still got 6 full innings. 0-1. Hits the front foot, it looked like, of Cole Kreisel. He seems okay. He'll trot down to first. Second hit batter of the night for Pippins pitching. First one for Bo Lloyd. Nobody down in the Yakima Valley pen. As Finnegan Stewart, 2 for 2. Pair of singles for him. Every hit for Edmonton has been a single. They've just had bases loaded almost every time they've gotten a hit. As the first pitch from Lloyd downstairs for ball 1. Seems like every time they've gotten a hit was with the bases loaded or 2 in scoring position, and so more damage than normal for a standard single. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 men aboard, 1 away. Lloyd a breaking ball down and in. Move the count to 2-0. Coach Crustangel making a slow walk out towards the hill. He wants to have a chat with the right-hander to try to calm him down. Pippin's catcher is heading down to the bullpen, waiting to see which pitcher will accompany him. Yakima Valley looked like they were business as usual when they stepped off the plane today, getting 3 runs right away in the first inning on a home run by Parker Burt. And then the wheels fell apart. Didn't just fall off, disintegrated in the first inning. 6 walks, a hit by pitch, 7 runs come across on 2 hits as well. Open umpire MJ Willis going to go break up the meeting. Coach Crustangel takes the slow stroll back over towards the dugout, which, again, very, very deep in foul territory compared to most of the other places we've played so far. Pippins occupy the first base dugout. Riverhawks in the third base dugout. 2-0 pitch. Ball pops out of the mitt of Ramos, but not far enough to advance the runners. It was upstairs. And so the count runs to 3-0. Third base is open. But the man you don't want to see with the bases loaded is due next, Easton Andrews. Lloyd takes a look at second. Here comes the 3-0. It's high and tight. Ball 4. Another walk issued by Yakima Valley pitching. And here strolls Easton Andrews to the plate. Andrews with 20 RBI on the season has become the hero so far over this first 12-game stretch for the Riverhawks. Leads the West Coast League in hits, home runs, RBI, total bases. Certainly an early MVP candidate for the WCL. First pitch, nowhere close from Bo outside. 1-0. There have been so many bases loaded situations as a ball bounces away from the Pippins bullpen. MJ Willis will hold up play for a moment. Now we get back underway. Torrin Eggy has grabbed a baseball and is looking to make his Pippins debut in this contest. 1-0 on the ground out towards second, might be 2. Fleck to Correa. The relay throw sails over Velasquez's head. 2 runs will score as part of the process. Riverhawks lead it now 10-3 here in the third. Veach came home easily on the potential double play, but then Kreisel taking an extra 90 feet after advancing to third. Stewart is forced out 4-6. Scored a fielder's choice to allow Andrews aboard, and then Kreisel scoring on an E6. Second error of the night for the Pippins, as here's a rope into right field down for a base hit by Jason Green. His first hit of the night. Riverhawks are just unstoppable in the batter's box right now. So disheartening if you're Bo Lloyd. Feel like you're making a couple good pitches, just unable to really get anything done. Eight walks have been issued by Pippins pitching. They've given up 10 runs on 6 hits. First pitch down and away to Matt Van Slyke, who is 0 for 1 today. Has reached both times, a walk and a fielder's choice. Eggy continues to warm up, not throwing off the mound yet for Yakima Valley. Time called. It is called by Ramos, and so the Pippins will burn a defensive timeout. Ramos trying to save Lloyd from a timer violation, cost the Pippins a timeout in the process. I thought that was just a disengagement, but not the case. Ground ball foul. Play dropped over in the third base coaching box. I believe the count's 1-2. Says it's 1-1. I might be wrong. Lloyd takes a look back at second base. Pitch hits the elbow on the guard of Matt Van Slyke. The bags are loaded again for the Riverhawks. Kataro Akui, 2 RBI, a single in the second, a walk in the first. He's up here in the third as the 8th hitter in the Riverhawks lineup. First pitch out towards right field. Garcia ranging over, dives, can't make the catch. It's all the way to the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes a second. Rounding third hard is the trailer Van Slyke. There's no play at the plate. They go to third, sliding in safely with a triple is Kataro Wakui, and the Riverhawks lead it by 10. 13-3 on the bags clearing triple by Wakui. Andrews scores easily. Green scores with some hustle. Van Slyke was racing around that third base bag. The ball went into third. Wakui has 5 RBI tonight. And when it rains, it pours. I might have had my count wrong. Scoreboard says 12-3. Lloyd facing Tony Moore, the 9th hitter in this third inning. Ball bounces in front of the plate. 2-0. And what more can you say right now here in the bottom of the third? Walks have been an issue. Ramos not been the cleanest behind the dish. And the scoreboard shows it. 2-0, down and away. Lloyd bites the glove in frustration. It's 3-0. Wakui is in at third. 2 away here in this third inning. Edmonton threatening to bat around for the second time today. They've already sent 9 to the plate. 3-0, there's a strike to keep the count alive. Three and one. Moore was hit by a pitch. He also grounded out back in the second. Bo brings home the 3-1. Fouled out of play. It'll become a souvenir on the street. Count runs full, 2 away. Pip's trying to get off the field. Three and two. Lloyd standing square to the plate. Now he comes set with the glove near the letters. Deep breath. Payoff pitch from Bo. Called strike 3, top of the zone. Tony Moore down on strikes. Riverhawks score some more. Right now it says 12-3 out there in left field. We go to the middle innings. Pippins have Luis Garcia, Tyson Miller, and Cam Fleck due up next here in Edmonton. It's the top of the fourth inning, middle innings upon us here in Edmonton. Let's take a look at some scores around the West Coast League and some other baseball action today. College World Series got underway. Bellingham in the ninth inning, leading Portland. Well, I guess they're at home, so that means 5-1 the final score. Wenatchee 3, Nanaimo nothing. Second inning, that game at last check just underway. Corvallis leads Bend 1-0 down at Vince Skinner Stadium. Richfield leads at 3-1 at the Marion Berries. Kamloops leads at 2-0 against Walla Walla. Walla Walla on the road as Garcia swings and fouls the first pitch over on the right side. Will it get out of play? Yes, it will. Into the front row of seats. No balls and a strike. Port Angeles leads Kelowna 1-0 in the third inning. Springfield and Victoria tied at 2 over on Vancouver Island. And then the College World Series action, the noon game today in Omaha. West Virginia taking down Troy 7-5. Close game between the Trojans and the Mountaineers. And then the 5 o'clock game, Ole Miss led it 6-2. Garcia takes down and away 1-1. Pips trying to find any sort of positivity here in the middle innings as it's 13-3. 7 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 5 in the third for Edmonton. Down and away, again to Garcia, 2-1 the count. Luis reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. 2-1. Stung out towards right center field, going back with Cooey. He scrambles to his feet, settles under it and squares. He has it for out number 1. I mentioned it in the pregame. If you're going to send anything out to right field, you need to muscle it because the wind is blowing in from that direction. Blowing in from right to left, more towards the stands over on the third base side. So you're not going to get any help if you're sending anything out to right. Halverson's first pitch to Tyson Miller, left upstairs. It's 1-0. There's a post-game fireworks show tonight, I'm told. Followed by a dance party on the field. For baseball goes Bollywood. Tyson on the ground over to first. Diving stop by Scott. He flips on to first. Pitcher covering, not in time. Tyson legs out an infield single. 1 out base runner for Yakima Valley. Close play over at first. Scott Eckhart on top of the call. Cam Fleck will hit now. Fly out back in the second inning. Halverson works back out of the stretch. Tyson, a very short standing lead, not going. First pitch a strike to Fleck. Pippins coaching staff and most of the players down in the dugout wearing those nice fleece lined jackets this year. It's chilly. Started the game at 62. Temperature continues to drop. Outside to Fleck, 1-1. Of course, hasn't dropped quite as much if you're looking at it in Celsius. Only 1 degree. 17-16. 1-1. Fleck sends one foul down the right field line out of play. We've dropped down to 60 degrees here in Edmonton. 1-2 the count. Halverson with Tyson Miller over at first. Shocked to see he hasn't been running yet. Down by 10. They're going to check over to first, and Tyson back in plenty of time. A few more favorable days in the forecast for this weekend. Saturday looking to be around 71 degrees for a high with sunshine, and then Sunday for the 1 o'clock game about a 77-degree high. Fleck takes a pitch upstairs, 2-2. Pips will leave Edmonton following the game Sunday afternoon into the evening, get back to Vancouver, cross the border, and head back to Yakima. Ready for a well-deserved off day. Fleck chases a pitch down and away. He strikes out. Two away here in the fourth. Levi Correa, strikeout victim his last time up. It's kind of interesting thinking about it because on a normal day, you're going to get into wherever you're playing a few hours early, maybe 3, and you're going to grab some food, maybe see 1 or 2 things, then go play. You'll have all of the next day to hang out. And then usually your getaway day, as a swing and a miss by Levi, makes him down in the count 0-1. Your getaway day, you check out of the hotel and then you kind of have to hang around because most of your getaway days are later afternoon games. Well, the 1:05 first pitch means you can get out of town earlier, especially in the case where the Pippins are catching a flight. Check over to first. Tyson back in plenty of time. I don't remember exactly which time of day the flight home is, but I know it's later in the evening. It's not like we're going to be pressed for time for this game. 0-1 upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. That's intentional. You want to try to avoid the getaway day rules as best as possible when you potentially have extra innings on hand. Of course, 13-3 today. You hope that's not the trend for this weekend for the Pip stay here in Canada. Tyson runs. The pitch is high. The throw down is a good one, but the tag late. Ball dropped, I think, as well. Stolen base for Tyson Miller. Shows off his wheels. Man in scoring position and a favorable count for Levi Correa. Sitting high above the crowd here in the press box at Remax Field, 2-1. My bird's eye view says that was down and away, ball 3. There's 2 away as Torreneggi continues to throw in the Pippins bullpen. Likely we'll see him in the 4th. Bo Lloyd approaching 40 pitches. 3-1. Levi takes a strike at the knees and the count runs full. Tyson going to be off with the crack of the bat. Correa going to try to just put something in play. Has a hole on the right side of the infield. Second baseman Van Slyke playing close to the bag. Payoff pitch on the way from Halverson. Levi sends it foul on the right side. Here comes a souvenir. Call it 7 rows up. New Rawlings Pearl can be taken home by that fan. Love to see the Rawlings partnership this year for the West Coast League as the official ball. Something about a Rawlings baseball. Another payoff pitch. Levi takes outside ball 4. Half of the Riverhawks defense was headed back to the dugout. They'll stay put. As the lineup card flips back to the top of the order, Jay O'Neill hits for the 3rd time. Chase Halverson, 58 pitches in this outing. He's probably going to go until he really gets himself into trouble. He's got a 10-run lead. You'd love to see him at least qualify for the win, going 5 innings. On the ground out towards second on the first pitch, bobbled out there by Van Slyke, but he recovers to get O'Neill with no further damage done. The Pippins get 2 on the base paths, both of them left stranded. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. Bottom of the 4th is next. Yakima Valley trails it 13-3 here north of the border. Yakima Valley Pippins make a couple of changes as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. First and foremost, new pitcher into the game is number 99, Torrin Eggy, making his first appearance on the season. This is after Bo Lloyd goes 2 2/3 innings, giving up 6 runs. Josh Mawhinney started the game, gave up 7 over a third of an inning. And corresponding with the move of Eggy into the game, it'll be Cole Snido coming in as well to do the catching. Ramos had a couple of balls behind him, a couple wild pitches, a pass ball as well. Just didn't seem to be catching the ball very cleanly behind the dish. And so Lloyd's night is done. So is Ramos. And Eggy, the new pitcher. Torrin spells his last name E-G-E. I asked him, was it Egg or Eggy? He said, it's Eggy. Thankful for Torrin for clarifying that for me. First pitch downstairs. Snido tested immediately. 1-0. This is Braden Scott. Started the third inning with a ground out. And then 8 more would come to the plate and 5 runs would score. 1-0. Here's a strike on the inner black. 1-1. The drone shot currently on the video board in left field showing a beautiful sunsetting view of the North Saskatchewan River. And a very picturesque bridge out beyond the outfield as well. Wave and a miss coming out of his shoes, Braden Scott on a downstairs fastball. 1-2. The only gripe I have, A, we can't see the river. We're not high enough up. I don't think we want to go any higher, though. We're pretty high up here as it is. B, there's a very beautiful skyline off behind us. The Edmonton skyline hidden from our view here in the press box. 1-2, down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got a good look at it, though, as we came down the hill before crossing the bridge that they are showing up on the left field scoreboard. Neat city. 2-2, Eggy freezes Braden Scott. 1 up, 1 down here in the fourth as Torrin gets his first strikeout as a Pip. Back to the top of the batting order. This is inning number 4, and the top of the order will hit for the 4th time. Very rarely can you say that. But here in a 13-3 game, that's the reality. Eggy's first pitch drilled out towards right center field. Garcia ranging over. He'll make the catch. 2 away. Pip's looking to get through a clean inning on defense. Final line on Bo Lloyd. It's 2 2/3 innings. He gives up 6 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. He walks 3, he strikes out 2. Every run that the Riverhawks have scored tonight has been earned, despite an error on a pickoff attempt by Mawhinney. On the ground out towards short, Pips are going to get a clean 1-2-3 defensive frame. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. Strikeout, flyout, ground out. And that, a small win in what has otherwise been a rocky game for Yakima Valley so far here in Edmonton. 5th inning next. We'll be right back. This is Pippins Baseball. Top of the fifth inning here in Edmonton. Pippins trail 13-3. Neither team scored in the fourth inning. Hard to believe that with how this game started. Pippins had 3 runs in the first on a home run by Parker Burt. Riverhawks responded with 7 in the first, 1 in the second, 5 in the third. Daichi Furuhata, 2 for 2 today, facing Chase Halverson, who is only about to throw his 60th pitch of the game right here, in for a strike to make it 0-1. Daichi apparently still the weenie of the game, according to these Riverhawk fans. He didn't allow them to have hot dogs back in the third inning. Breaking ball downstairs. Daichi takes 1-1. Out of the windup, the pitch from Halverson. Daichi lines it down the left field line, down for a base hit. Going towards the corner. Daichi's going to turn, try to go for 2. The play at second is not in time. Furuhata, 3 for 3. 2 singles and a double. A bright spot in an otherwise dark game so far for Yakima Valley. That'll prompt a catcher and pitcher meeting. Green and Halverson talking together on the hill. Daichi upset that he had his 9-game hit streak ended on an error. It was ruled an error. It was a bouncing ball to short on turf that probably could have been ruled a hit, probably could have been ruled an error. It was up to the official score, and they went with error, so he lost the hit streak and has responded by going yesterday down in Ridgefield 2 for 4 with a couple of singles, and today 2 singles and a double. Brings up Nick Velasquez 1 for 2. He scored a run on the home run by Parker Burt. First pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Velasquez grounded into a double play that forced Daichi out at second after his second single in the third. Halverson having to work a little bit here in a 10-run game. 1-0, high and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody down in the pen for the Riverhawks, and very understandably so. You're probably going to ride Halverson until he's to a point where he's not built up. Whether that's 5 innings, 6 innings. 2-0, corked out towards right field. Velasquez gave it a good ride. Wakai looking up. This is off the base of the wall and into the hands of Veach. Daichi turns hard at third. He's going to score. Nick Velasquez, a double. Back-to-back doubles for Yakima Valley. They play their first run since the first inning to make it 13-4. Good job by Nick. Building off of a good night last night. 2 for 5 with a home run and a single. He's got single-double here tonight. A little bit more positivity for Yakima Valley. Here's Parker Burt. First pitch, he takes down and away, ball 1. Well, the only risky run if you're Halverson and the Riverhawks is letting him go too far and possibly letting Yakima Valley creep their way back into this game. We're about halfway home, so still a lot of work to do, but certainly not impossible. 1-0, Parker takes a strike on the inside half. 1-1. After scoring 13 runs on 16 hits last night, Burt trying to build off of a home run and a single today. He sends one out towards right field. Wakai will grab it. Tagging from second and moving up to third is Nick Velasquez. Productive out for Parker Burt. The fly out to right. Moves the runner 90 feet away. There's only 1 out here in the 5th. Pippins trying to manufacture runs. Now here's the first plate appearance for Cole Snido. Snido in for Ramos. He ends his night 0 for 1. Got to go a ways back since the last time we saw Cole take a hack. First pitch nearly got him on the hands. His first at-bat came in the 9-2 loss against the Berries last Saturday. Got a pinch hit appearance, went 0 for 1 with an infield single, and then he was in the game the next day, but exited with a couple of bruises when he was battered by a couple foul balls. Strike at the top of the zone, 1-1. He officially went 0 for 1 that next day. And so Snido 0 for 2 on the year. He has not played since last Sunday. Velasquez at third, 1-1. Cole lays off upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. It's been catcher by committee, mainly with Parker Burt anchoring it. Ramos has been a motivator for the pitchers, just not having a good night tonight. So he is done. Snido takes upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. A walk here would bring up Luis Garcia, who makes some of the loudest contact, just can't seem to find a hit for it. Out of the windup, Halverson drops the glove, now sends in a fastball outside, ball 4. Cole Snido on base for the first time since last Sunday. Runners at the corners for Yakima Valley, only 1 away. Pips trying to score another run here in the top of the 5th. Garcia flew out to right back in the 4th inning. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st. First pitch, opposite field. This is dying fast. Diving, Walkeye makes the catch. Well, that's unfortunate. Garcia almost had a nice double there. Now, Nick did tag. Or did he? I don't think he did. Yes, he did. Okay, we're good. Nick tagged. I was watching the play out and right. Pippin score again. So both doubles cashed in. Give Garcia a sacrifice fly on an excellent diving play out and right. Snido stays up there. Miller lays down a bunt. The catcher, Green, thought that was in fair territory, but immediately blowing the play dead, MJ Willis. That bunt was popped just about as straight up as you can get it. Snido still over at first. He did not move up on the play out right. Riverhawk fans trying to continue to party. Pippins have scored 2 here in the 5th. Tyson swings and sends it over the screen. Foul into the lap of a fan. He cannot make the catch. 0-2. Couple of foul balls by Tyson. Trying to build off a single in the 4th. Here in the 5th inning, Pippins trail 13-5. The 0-2 pitch. Tyson got enough of the bat on it to send it to the screen and stay alive. Snido, catcher out there at first base. Tyson, the left-handed stick, speedy in that left-hand box. 0-2, again slicing it foul. This one up into the front row and then down into one of the party decks. Hardest that Halverson has had to work since the 1st inning. He's thrown nearly 20 pitches in this frame. No balls, 2 strikes. Snido over at first. Miller watches one dance across the plate as it skips across the carpet. 1-2 the count. Halverson about to throw 80 pitches. Takes a look at first. The 1-2, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tyson not known as a power hitter, but if he can find something in the gap, Snido might be able to stretch his legs. 2-2 now. The pitch. This stays upstairs. The count runs full. And Snido over at first will be off with the pitch. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Pippins have 2 runs already home. Halverson ready to deliver. There goes Snido. The payoff is sent foul over top of the Riverhawks dugout. We will do it again. Snido slowly returning to first. Home plate umpire MJ Willis giving the catcher time to catch his breath. Same situation here to Tyson Miller. Halverson delivers a payoff. It is high, ball 4. A breaking ball slipped out of the hand too early. The inning continues as the Yakima Valley sends up Cam Fleck. Well, I brought up the potential of running Halverson until he worked himself out of a situation he needed. Now we're going to get a mound visit here. You wonder how long the leash is. Obviously, still a sizable lead. It's 8 runs, but with every moment that this rally continues for Yakima Valley, the more you feel like they can potentially grab a couple runs every frame and sneak back into this one. A couple of bodies are going to head down to the bullpen for the Riverhawks, as now MJ Willis will break up the meeting. Cam Fleck today 0 for 2. Flew out to center field in the 2nd. Struck out back in the 4th. Pippins and Riverhawks 13-5. The home team with the advantage here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. First pitch from Halverson after the mound visit is high for ball 1. Seems to be losing a little bit of that command that we saw early on, as now left-handed action up and throwing for the Riverhawks. 1-0. Cam sends one foul back towards us, and it's out of play. 1-1. The lefty, warming up is Makau Heaney from Auckland, New Zealand. Halverson sends a pitch in while the music blares. He gets a swing and a miss by Cam Fleck, 1-2. So now the righty and or a strikeaway rather, of getting out of this side. Snido at second, Miller at first, both via the walk. Long look out at Snido, the 1-2 pitch. Out towards center field. Veach going to have to chase it back about a step in front of the track. Sticks the glove up, makes the catch, and the side is retired. Yakima Valley scores for the first time since the 1st inning. They get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 base runners left on base. Halfway home here in Edmonton, the Riverhawks lead at 13-5. We'll be right back to Remax Field. Bottom half of the fifth inning here at Remax Field about to begin. Tornegi back out for his second inning of work. Let's take another look at those scores around the league. Again, the final score in Bellingham, 5-2, the Bells over the Pickles. In Nanaimo, the Wenatchee Apple Sox currently lead the Night Owls 9-0 in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth in Bend, Corvallis out to an 8-0 lead on the Elks. Top of the sixth in Salem, Richfield leads it 4-1 over the Marion Berries. Top of the sixth in Kamloops, the North Claws lead it 3-1 over the Walla Walla Sweets. Bottom of the sixth at Kelowna, Port Angeles leading 5-1 over the Falcons. And top of the fifth at Victoria, Springfield on top by 2, 5-3. That game again in the top of the fifth. Our game here, 13-5 in favor of the Riverhawks. Pippins scored for the first time since the first inning in their half of the fifth. Now Tornegi will look to build off of a 1-2-3 frame by firing in a first pitch strike to Finnegan Stewart. Stewart today, 2 for 2, an RBI single in the first, a single and a run scored in the second, and a walk before being forced out in the third. Sends one foul back up towards the top of the canopy. It is over it and foul, 0-2. Eggy coming in, throwing strikes. You like to see that after how this game started for Yakima Valley pitching. 0-2. Eggy sends it home. It's sliced foul again by Stewart. This one up towards the top rows, but becomes a souvenir. Pippins 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. A respectable line if you don't look at the bottom half where it says 13 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Riverhawks. Eggy bounces one in. It's 1-2. If you weren't with us earlier, it was 7 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 5 in the third for Edmonton. 3 runs in the first for Yakima Valley, 2 in the fifth. If you hang another 0 here, maybe go get a couple more runs, you start to feel like you have an outside shot. Starts here now with Eggy. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball upstairs. 2-2 the count moves to. Finnegan Stewart, the left fielder. Where's number 57? 2-2. Fastball skips in. 89 on the radar gun for Eggy. And so another favorable pitching count for Pippins hurler has now become a do or die pitch. Seen that a lot so far tonight. Game 1 of a 3-game series between these two squads. Payoff pitch, called strike 3 on the outer half. Went with a breaking ball at 77. Stewart down looking. That's 2 strikeouts for Tornegi, both via the backwards K. That'll bring up Easton Andrews. He's scored twice. He's walked twice. He reached on a fielder's choice in the third inning. Andrews so far held off of the hit column, the home run column, and the RBI column. Places that he leads the West Coast League in. First pitch inside towards his hands, makes it 1-0. Andrews continues to count up his run total, though. 2 more of them today. 1-0 misses well outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Righty-lefty matchup here with Eggy and Easton Andrews, the lefty. 2-0, missing upstairs. 3-0. On deck is Jason Green. He picked up his first hit back in the third frame. Eggy sends home the 3-0. Backing off is Andrews as ball 4 whizzes across his shoe tops. On the video board during that sequence and after that pitch, they were doing a mog cam. Guy was staring into the camera, and the PA guy goes, "Is he single?" And he flashes the ring, and the girl sitting next to him gives him a big wet smooch. That is something that Edmonton is doing very well. A lot of times during the pitches, you see fans featured on the video board. There's a lot of fan interaction here. First pitch downstairs to Jason Green, another lefty. Your chances of being featured on the video board here are very high if you come to a Riverhawks game. Doesn't matter that the stadium seats 9,200 when it's full. They're going to find you, and they're going to put you on the big screen. 1-0. There's a strike top of the zone to Green. Evens us up 1-1. Certainly one of the most unique atmospheres in the West Coast League. Not just for the home team, the Riverhawks, who get to experience this half of the time out of the year. 1-1, Eggy falls off the mound. 2 balls and a strike. He'll take a look at the landing spot. Clean out some of the turf pellets. But for visiting teams, not only do you experience this type of atmosphere, which feels much more akin to a minor league baseball game, or even one of your D1 baseball games. A fly ball out towards right. Garcia settling under. He has it fairly routine for out number 2. But for most of these guys, at least for the Pippins side, they're coming from JUCOs trying to find a new home at a 4-year, or they're coming from a small 4-year looking for a big 4-year. And you get a chance to play in front of what I'm going to guess is at least 6,000 people tonight, maybe more. And just feel what that feeling is like to have that large number of people in the stands. It's not something you get all the time, and I think the Pippins, regardless of how this series turns out, of course, you want to walk away with as many wins as possible. Aggies' first pitch down and away to Matt Van Slyke. You want to walk away with as many wins as possible, but even in a game like this where you're losing by 8, you still can feel why people want to come out to these kind of games. 1-0 downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. And the night just continues to be great. It's about 60 degrees outside. Clear-ish skies. There's some clouds hanging overhead. A breeze keeping everybody cold, but the other 2 games this weekend should be beautiful. 2-0. Eggy sends in a slider upstairs. It's 3-0. So after a strong start, Torin slowly losing the strike zone. It's sure to be a couple more big nights the rest of this weekend, too. All sorts of promotions to be had here at Remax Field. 3-0. Uncompetitive at bat there as Van Slyke draws the 4-pitch walk. 2 aboard, 2 away here in the 5th inning. Kataro Wakui, 2 for 2, single, triple walk, 5 RBI. 5 RBI. He's driven in at least 1 in every plate appearance. He drove in 3 on a bags clearing triple in the 3rd. Aggie settles himself on the mound. The first pitch to Wakui is inside for ball 1. Yakima Valley has Carl Mullen Kovash doing some tosses off the mound down in their bullpen. Eggie comes set at the letters. Takes a deep breath. The 1-0. Golfed high out towards left field. Tyson settling under it. Sticks the leather out. Makes the catch. And the inning is over. The Riverhawks have 2 left on base. They do not score. There were no hits. There were no errors. 5 innings in the books here at Remax Field. 6th inning next. Pippins trail by 8.
My friend,
Top of the 6th inning, Yakima Valley up to hit for the 6th time today. They'll face a new pitcher after Chase Halverson goes 5 innings, giving up 8 hits, 5 runs. All of them earned 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. He's in line for a win should the score hold. The new pitcher comes into the game, is a lefty. It's not the one that we saw warming up, though. This is number 43, Trayton Delorier. Delorier appears to be making his season debut for the Riverhawks. First pitch, he fires into Levi Correa for strike 1. Delorier, obviously a more French spelling outside, 1-1. Spells his last name D-E-S, capital L, A-U-R-I-E-R-S. Trayton Delorier. So a southpaw on the hill now for the Riverhawks. Wave and a miss by Correa. He's behind in the count. 1-2. Decent start by Halverson, giving up only the 5 runs, the 8 hits. 1-1, or 1-2 rather, downstairs 2-2. Pippins with those 2 runs in the 5th inning. Hoping maybe to add on another couple here in the 6th as Correa sends one foul down the right field line. Out of play. If you could score a couple in the 6th, hang another 0, then all of a sudden you're talking about a couple big swings and you're right back into the game. 2-2. Correa popped back towards us. This is coming towards the awning, right in front, about 6 rows in front of the press box. Perfect line. Just didn't have quite the distance to get far enough back to us. Two balls and 2 strikes again. Delorier brings it home. Correa late on a fastball. He's down on strikes for the 2nd time today. Back to the top of the order for Yakima Valley. Jay O'Neill is 0 for 3. Pop up to the shortstop, fly out to the center field, and a ground out to the second baseman. Lefty-lefty matchup here as Jay squares to bunt, gets the end of the bat on it, but it's immediately blown dead. I'll put umpire MJ Willis saying that hit off in foul territory, and immediately the play over. So it's 0-1 to O'Neill. Trying to manufacture getting on base any way he can. Jay sends one out into left center field, crashing on it Stewart and Veach. It'll be Stewart, the left fielder, who makes the catch to put two away in the sixth. Here's Daichi Furuhata. 3 for 3 today. 2 singles, a double, 2 runs scored. He and Velasquez, along with Parker Burt with his home run and single, have looked really good in the middle of the order. Just not much else to show for it right now. First pitch downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Furuhata still the weenie of the game. It's been unsuccessful so far as the pitch misses high and away, 2-0. Ever since the spin landed on Daichi, he got a single and a double. He scored a run as well. 2-0. That's downstairs, and it's 3-0. Daichi would gladly draw a walk to extend the inning for Nick Velasquez. We'll see if he even takes the bat off his shoulders here. He does not, and Daichi draws a 4-pitch walk. Another perfect night getting on base for Daichi so far. 4 for 4, 3 hits and a walk. Inning continues for Nick Velasquez. Nick's got 3 more total bases tonight, a double, a single, 2 runs scored. As he takes the first pitch strike on a slider to fall behind 0-1, lefty-lefty matchup here. Delorier standing on the third base side of the pitching rubber, front foot in front of the back foot. Pitch is high, the ball bounces away from the catcher Green. Daichi moves up to second. That might be a passed ball. Man in scoring position now for Nick. If he could get another poke out to the grass, Daichi might be able to come home and score for a third time. 1-1 the count. Velasquez corks one down the right field line. This is going to stay fair. This is going to go all the way to the wall. Here comes Daichi around third to score. Velasquez is going to pull up into second. Back-to-back innings with a double for Nick Velasquez. Both times they score Daichi Furuhata. Pippins have scored in back-to-back frames as it's now 13-6. Great job by Nick. Pulling it right down the line. Parker Burt will hit with a man in scoring position. Lefty-righty matchup. Parker takes outside, ball 1. Again, if you can chip away a couple runs at a time and continue to hang zeros on defense, all of a sudden you sneak back into this game. Pippins trail 13-6 here in the 6th. Burt takes a strike in near the hands, 1-1. Parker's 3-run home run in the first was an impressive shot out towards left off near the scoreboard. 1-1 with Nick Velasquez at second. Parker loses the bat into fair territory. He swings through and possibly fouled that one to the backstop. He's going to ask for a little bit of sticky stuff to put on his wooden weapon as he retrieves it from his third base coach, Kyle Crustangel. Parker gonna slowly make his way over to the on deck circle. Nobody has provided the sticky stuff yet that he's asking for. He confirms with MJ Willis that he can go and grab the stickum. Now applies it in violent strokes to the handle of the bat. So Parker will dig back in. Tells you how violent he was swinging on that, trying to go for another home run here. That would make this game really interesting. 1-2. Pitch missing, down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Parker's the DH, so if he could find a way on, you might see a pinch runner here and try to get some speed. 2-2. Parker foul into the screen over on the right side. Count remains the same. Pips still out hitting Edmonton. 9-7. Scoreboard just reflects 7 early walks given up by Lloyd and Mawhinney. 13-7 and 0, the line for the Riverhawks. 2-2. Parker sends it foul down the right field line. He'll stay alive. He'll deposit a souvenir up in the upper sections. Keep fighting, driving Delorier's pitch count up. Who's going to win this battle between the southpaw and the on-base machine? The 2-2. It's going to be the on-base machine as he lines it into center field for a base hit. Velasquez rounds third. He'll cross the plate. Parker Burt with a 4th RBI, his 3rd hit of the night. Pippins trying to make it interesting here in the 6th inning. 13 now to 7. That'll bring up Cole Snido. Snido with his catching counterpart, the designated hitter Burt, on at first. Cole's going to have to find a gap. First pitch, high and away. That's ball 1. So after giving up all 13 runs in the first 3 frames, the Pippins have scored 2 runs in each of the last 2 innings as Snido sends it out to center field. Veach backing up, a step away from the track, puts it away to end the inning. But not before Yakima Valley gets 2 more runs and cuts this down to a 13-7 lead for the Riverhawks. Bottom of the 6th inning next. Come right back to Remax Field. Bottom of the sixth inning here at Remax Field. Carl Mullen Kovash comes into the game for Yakima Valley as he will be making his third appearance on the hill. 2/3 of an inning against Walla Walla on May 31st, 2/3 of an inning against Ridgefield on June 9th. Carl going to be asked to throw a scoreless sixth and then maybe more as the Pippins try to claw their way back into a game that looked dead to rights over after the third inning of play. It's 13-7 here in the bottom of the sixth. First pitch from Mullen Kovash downstairs, ball one. Carl, the lone player from the 2024 Pippins squad that Coach Crustangel managed before Crusty took the year off last year. So Carl returns. Of course, you can probably count Salsa in that as well. He's the pitching coach. Carl misses downstairs, 2-0. Native of Illinois, plays his college ball out in Walla Walla. 2-0 as Carl, the big tall righty, comes set, now lumbers it forward. Misses outside with a fastball, 3-0. This is Tony Moore, and then the number 9 hitter, Braden Scott, before Drew Veach comes back for the 5th time. Riverhawks have been held scoreless the last 2 frames. 3-0, ball 4 issued on a high fastball to Tony Moore. Not the most ideal start for Carl. Let's see if he can get a ground ball and turn that walk into 2 outs. Braden Scott is 0 for 2, a strikeout looking, a ground out, and a walk. Was one of only 2 Riverhawks that did not score in the first inning. The other one being Jason Green, who had a sacrifice fly. First pitch to Scott. It's downstairs. Snido pausing for a second. 5 straight have missed by Carl Mullen Kovash. Need a strike here, Carl. Runner. Dekes a move, and then Carl throws in a first strike of his outing. 1-1. Good composure by Carl to not balk on that move over at first by Moore. Carl, a long pause. The runner at his back. Wave and a miss on an outside pitch. 1-2. Braden Scott, the first baseman, trying to avoid another strikeout. He's behind in the count here. Leading off at first is Moore. 1-2. This got a piece of Scott on the way by. Another hit batter by a Pippins pitcher, only the third tonight. Edmonton crowd voices their disapproval. Back to the top of the order, as it looks like Snido going to go out and have a chat with Carl Mullen Kovash. Coach Crustangel making a slow walk out to have a chat with MJ Willis. I think Crusty trying to figure out how many meetings he has. Also, some other housekeeping items. Coach Crustangel back to the dugout over on the first base side. It's a longer walk. Clubhouse is underneath both sides of this former AAA ballpark. Pippins have some place to lounge after the game. Bunt shown. This is foul over towards the on-deck circle for the Riverhawks on the left side. 0-1. Drew Veach. 2 singles, a walk, and a fly out. He's scored twice. He's driven in a run. Carl Mullen Kovash in a little bit of trouble here. Nobody out. 2 aboard. 0-1 bunt shown, pulled back on a pitch high and tight. Veach trying to play a little small ball and get 2 in scoring position. As the Riverhawks see their once mighty lead dwindling. Now it's only 6 runs. 1-1. This is behind the batter Veach, and now he's not going to have to bunt as both runners move up. A very wild pitch by Carl. Pippins infield going to be forced to play in here, trying to cut down any insurance runs. Pippins have Shifu Hasegawa loosening in the bullpen. We're in the 6th inning. There's still a few more outs to eat for these Pippins pitchers. 2-1, in tight again to Drew Veach. Pippin staff a little bit shorthanded for the trip up here. You have the 3 starting pitchers that pitched in Ridgefield did not make the trip, and so not available out of the bullpen at all. 3-1, Carl fires a strike to run the count full. You've got 1 or 2 guys that I believe just weren't able to make the trip. And so you look at the bullpen, you've got Luke McGuire, who's scheduled to start tomorrow, but you've already used 3 arms, as there's a called strike 3 on the outer black to Drew Veach. 1 away. Carl trying to lock the door here in the 6th after allowing 2 early runners and giving them 2nd and 3rd. Tough task because he's got the 2-hole hitter Cole Kreisel. Goes to Central Missouri. First pitch, there's a strike hummed in at the knees. 0-1. Hey, a Pippins fan made their way up onto the video board. 3 of them, actually. Where are they at? 0-1, big cut and a miss. Kreisel went hacking for that. Oh, there's 4 of them. They just keep multiplying. Where are they at? Oh, I found them. Here we go. No balls, 2 strikes. Good to see Yakima Valley represented clear up here in the Great White North. The 0-2 on the ground. This is going to be played on the infield. The throw on to first. Great job by Cam Fleck to look the runners back. Nobody scores on the 4-3 ground out. Finnegan Stewart, last hope in the 6th inning to try to give the Riverhawks some of their runs back. Sun continues to set. We're under the light power here in Edmonton. Just past 9:30. First pitch, down and away to Finnegan. 1-0. Infield can play back now with 2 away. Stewart today, 2 for 3. 1-0. Carl misses high and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Mullen Kovash trying to hang a 3rd straight 0 after the Riverhawks scored in the first 3 innings of this game. 2-0. There's a strike to get into the count. Over the heart of the dish. 2-1. Pippins in the top half of the seventh have Garcia, Miller, and Fleck due up. It's been 2, 3, and 4 in the order that has been the productive part. 2-1, sent out towards right field. Garcia throws the glove up. He has it. And despite a couple of early base runners, the Riverhawks fail to score them. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on the base paths by Edmonton. To the late innings we go here at Remax Field. Pippins only trailing now 13-7. We got 3 innings to play here north of the border. Well, the staff here at Edmonton at Remax Field found the Pippins fans. There's a little bit of a rivalry going on between the mascots of these two teams. At the All-Star game last year, Scott T. Pippen was accused, mind you, of pushing Kid, one of the two mascots here for the Riverhawk. They're showing the video here on the screen. I don't think it's very conclusive as to what happened during that race. I don't know why we're going after Scott T. Pippen the way we are, but anyway, top of the seventh inning, we get back to baseball here at Remax Field. Pippins trail 13-7. Laurier still out there as Luis Garcia watches the first pitch down and away for ball 1. Poor Scott T. catching strays thousands of miles away. Garcia digs back into the right-hand box. Laurier's still out there, despite giving up the 2 runs in the 6th, as Garcia sends one high and shallow into right field. Wakai says he has it, and he does, charging in at the last second to make the catch. Man, Garcia just has no luck going out to right. He does have a sacrifice fly out there, but his last 3 outs have been to right field and to Wakui. Tyson Miller, 1 for 2, a single, a walk, a ground out. He also has a stolen base tonight. He is plunked in the back on the first pitch that he sees in this at-bat here in the 7th. Tyson aboard, 1 away. Cam Fleck, the hitter. We'll see if Tyson is given the green light to run again. Would love to see him get into scoring position. When the Pippins have had that happen, good things have happened. Cam Fleck takes a ball down and in, 1-0. Of course, you've got the lefty on the mound now, so it's a lot harder to get a large jump. 1-0, high and away. 2 balls, no strikes. If you're Cam Fleck, you're 0 for 3 today, looking to break out of a little bit of a slump. Perfect time to do that here. 2-0, went chasing at a downstairs fastball, 2-1. Delorier living at around 85 on the radar gun. Fleck with only a couple hits on the season as he sends one foul into the screen to make it 2-2. Just has not quite been the start for Cam that he wants on offense. Defensively, it's been very good. 2-2. The pitch. Cam lines one into center field. This is down for a base hit in front of each. Miller rounds second. The throw will come back to second, and it gets away on the infield. Miller again thought about going for third, but he will stay put. Pippins need runners any way they can. Cam Fleck breaks the 0 for today, picks up a single. 2 on, 1 out here in the 7th. Levi Correa. Now time for him to break out of the 0 for 2 day. He does have a walk drawn. Pippins again trying to nibble away at this 13-7 lead. It was 13-3 after 3 innings of play. Levi out to short. Cam Fleck was running. They're going to double off the Pippins second baseman. Got a freeze on line drives. Fleck did not do that. Correa, call it L4. You can call Fleck 4 back to 3. Stretch time here at Remax Field. 13-7. The Riverhawks lead it here in Edmonton.
We're correcting the Yakima hitters. And you love a small little slate in there. Pretty high. They never. Like, they got everybody to keep there. Oh, this is the.
Stretch time come and gone here at Remax Field, home of the Edmonton Riverhawks. Night 1 of 3 here for Yakima Valley in this series. They bring in another new pitcher, Shifu Hasegawa, the right-hander out of Kawasaki, Japan, will be making his 4th appearance on the year. Hasegawa was asked to eat a few innings down in Ridgefield, and now being asked to put up a couple zeros here in the bottom of the 7th, possibly going into the 8th. Pippins trail 13-7. First hitter he faces is Easton Andrews. The first pitch is down and away for ball 1. Andrews held without a hit tonight. He's walked 3 times. He reached on a fielder's choice. He's ahead in the count 2-0 as Hasegawa misses inside. They're bouncing beach balls and all sorts of inflatables around the ballpark. Crowd has tapered off, but a fireworks Friday kept most of them here. Andrews wave and a miss on a very slow fastball. 2-1. Hasegawa fires it in, and it's fouled off on the left side by Andrews. 2-2. we'll see how much I get to enjoy the fireworks show. It's a little bit of a journey to get down to the field from where I'm at up here. 2-2. Andrews fouls it off. Souvenir into the stands now. Still 2-2. I've basically got to go either take an elevator all the way down to the first floor, or I've got to run down the main seating, go onto the concourse, go down the stairs as the 2-2 pitch outside, ball 3. Go down the stairs to the ground level. Hang on a minute, that was only ball 3, Mr. Andrews. Come on back. Bat boy was about to take the. Hang on, everybody, that was only ball 3. Jason Green was strolling to the plate. Andrews in a 3-2 count. Hasegawa, one more pitch before potentially issuing a walk. Could get a strikeout, though. That's a walk. It's outside, ball 4. Jason Green will now stroll up for his properly allotted time. You peer down to the on-deck circle, and it looks like Luis Dion has grabbed a bat in the spot of Matt Van Slyke. So we'll have a new hitter and potentially a new second baseman when we get to the next defensive half inning. Fair ball on the ground over towards first. The throw down to second. Tag play. Not in time is the call. Correa threw the tag down. Third base umpire says safe. Oh my. First base umpire Scott Eckhart had no ability to even look at that because it's a 3-man crew. We got Brandon Strokey over there at second. She was right on top of the call, but it looked clear as day that they slapped the tag on Easton Andrews. Coach Crustangel trying to plead his case for a potential double play. Velasquez did get the out at first, so Green is out 3 unassisted. Krusty going to lose this battle here. There's no video review, obviously. Man, that hurts. So here's the pinch hitter, Dion. Edmonton leads it 13-7. First pitch, down and away, ball 1. Hasegawa behind in the count 1-0. Luis Dion from Henderson, Nevada, wave and a miss. Batting 133 on the season. He has 1 home run, 1 RBI. He has scored 3 times. Stands in the left-hand batter's box, facing Shifu Hasegawa. Strike at the knees. 1-2. So Van Slyke ends his day 0 for 1. 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and a fielder's choice. 1-2. Breaking ball down and away. A block by Snido. Andrews stays put at second. 2-2. Half swing. He went around. Dion down on strikes. 2 away. Man at second. Hasegawa an out away from getting to the 8th. Has to go through Kotaro Akui. 2 for 3 today. Single, triple, 5 RBI. Couple of natives of Japan facing off against each other. Shifu looks at second. First pitch. There's a strike to Wakui. Slew of lefties hitting here against the right-handed throwing Hasegawa. 0-1 sticks a strike on the outer black. And now the Riverhawks down to their final strike here in the 7th. Pips have the top of the order due up in the 8th. 0-2, breaking ball. Didn't catch enough of the plate on the outside part. It's 1-2. Shifu comes set, glove set at the head. 1-2 pitch. Stung foul into the net. Count remains 1-2. Attendance just announced here at the ballpark, 4,544. I guess that'll teach me how to read attendance here. I could have sworn there was more like 6. 1-2 on the ground out towards second. Fleck on 3 bounces, sends it across to first. Inning over here in the 7th. Riverhawks get no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left on. We go to the 8th inning. Now or never for Yakima Valley. 6 outs left to play with on offense. Come right back to Remax Field. Welcome back to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Pippins trail 13-7 here in the 8th inning. 1, 2, and 3 in the batting order, starting with Jay O'Neill, who is 0 for 4 today. And then Daichi Furuhata has been on base all 4 times today. Nick Velasquez, a pair of doubles and a single. He has scored 3 runs. If you're going to get a couple more runs on the board and at least try to carry some momentum into tomorrow after getting a good night's sleep, this is the time to do it. 2, 3, and 4 in the order have accounted for all the runs scored for Yakima Valley. First pitch, ball 1. It is still Delorier out there on the hill. No action in the bullpen for the Riverhawks as the next pitch is fouled off towards the Pippins first base dugout. 1-1. O'Neill dealt with a little bit of soreness after playing every inning of Georgia Gwinnett's season as an outfielder. 1-1 yanked to the glove side foul, 2-1, outside 2-1. And so a couple of days off in the middle of this road trip, trying to help him recalibrate and be as healthy as possible for summer ball, leading into fall ball, wherever he will end up in the portal after a very successful year at Georgia Gwinnett. Just wants to be a little closer to home. 2-1, now 2-2. A native of Federal Way, Washington, played a couple years at Yakima Valley College. took the shot, went down, played NAIA with Georgia Gwinnett, had a good year, batted over 350. 2-2, down and away, count runs full. So now looking for the opportunity in his own backyard. And I'm sure there is a fit out there for him. Lefty-lefty matchup, Delorier and O'Neill. The payoff pitch, Jay, gonna serve it out towards right field. Makai back there, he makes the catch. Everything dies out to right field here at Remax. One away here in the 8th. Daichi Furuhata, 3 hits and a walk today. He's scored 3 runs. Daichi has not been nice to these fans here. He's not let them have the hot dogs that they've been promised if he strikes out. First pitch downstairs, ball 1. Daichi doing what Daichi does best, getting on base. His way usually more with hits. Pitch outside, 2-0. Burt will get on with walks, errors, other random ways as well as hits. Daichi usually picks up 2 hits a game. 2-0, slow breaking ball, hard of the plate. It's 2-1. Of course, Parker tonight on base 3 times, 3 hits, home run, single. 2-1, Daichi swings through, and the 4,000 strong now a strike away from their weenie of the day batter promotion. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Daichi ropes it foul into the third base dugout. Watch out. Still 2-2 as Furuhata is well in front of it. Two balls and 2 strikes, 1 away here in the 8th. Daichi swings through it. They're going to have to throw down to first to complete the play. There you go, Riverhawks fans. There's your wieners. Never thought I'd say that on a broadcast. Please don't take that out of context. 2 away here in the 8th inning. Nick Velasquez, 3 for 4 tonight. He's got 2 RBI. Pair of doubles, a single, 3 runs scored. All 3 hits have been to right field. He swings through a breaking ball as he was well early. 0-1. Set at the letters. Here comes Delorier. Nick goes the opposite field this time, out to left, racing towards the bullpen. Is it going to get down? It will in foul territory. Count now 0-2. Velasquez down to the final strike here in the 8th inning for the Pips. Riverhawks have the bottom 2 in their order, and then they send the top back up for a 6th time. Given how this game started, the fact that it's 13-7, I think, has to feel a little bit better. There were not a lot of hopeful thoughts after you get down 13-3, giving up 13 straight runs. But you've held the Riverhawks off the scoreboard since, and you've picked up 4 runs of your own. 0-2, Velasquez down the right field line, out of play foul. Into the stands, off some hands, and down into the concourse. Battle continues between Delorier and Velasquez. Right-handed action up for the Riverhawks. 0-2, Nick fouls it off his front foot. Likely going to be used in the ninth inning. Not a save situation right now, unless the Pippins can really put a lot of runs together. Currently, both starters on the hook for the decisions as well. Mawhinney in danger of suffering his first loss after he only went a third of an inning tonight. Another 0-2 to Nick. A mile high into foul territory on the right side. Now back into fair territory. The second baseman just entering the game, Dion, rescues everybody and makes the catch to end the eighth inning. Bottom of the eighth is next. Pippins trail 13-7. Last opportunity for some insurance for the Riverhawks. We'll be right back to Edmonton. This is Pippins Baseball. Shifu Hasegawa back out for his second inning of work after giving up a walk to start the seventh. He retired the next three in order, looking to get a quick eighth inning here and then send the Pippins out to the top of the ninth with a chance to put a little bit of a rally together. Throw goes down to second, and Tony Moore strolls up to the dish. Well, if it weren't for that huge first inning, you can give up something like the third inning, 5 runs, 3 hits, 1 left on, but you can't give up 2 of them in the same game. Edmonton getting 7 runs in the first, 5 in the third, 5 combined hits in those 2 frames. Hasegawa sends a first pitch outside for ball 1 to Tony Moore. Think of just a couple of things that could have been different. There were a lot of 1-2 or 2-2 counts that pitchers like Mawhinney couldn't quite complete as a pitch fouled away. Hasegawa back in the count 1-1. There were just a lot of walks issued early on in this game, and that's what did it in for the Pippins early on. 1-1 popped up on the infield. Snido in foul territory behind the dish makes the catch. 1 away in the eighth. Braden Scott, 0 for 2 today. Walked, hit by a pitch. Scott, the number 9 hole hitter. And then Drew Veach will be back up for a 6th time. First pitch downstairs on a slider from Hasegawa. One 0. Shifu brings it home. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Scott batting from the left side after being held to no hit so far today. Takes a strike. 2-1. Remind you that tomorrow, first pitch will be again 7:05 Mountain Time. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Scott. 2-2. 7:05 p.m. first pitch, Mountain Time. That's 6:05 for those of you Listening in Yakima, that's 8:05 for those of you listening back at my house. 2-2 off the end of the bat into shallow left center field. This is down for a hit, and this might be two. Tyson cuts it off in the gap. There will be no play at second, and sliding in with a hustle double is Braden Scott. Soft off the bat, I think, is the key word in that call. It really was nothing hard about that hit at all. Meant that the Pippins had to do a lot more work to go get it. So yeah, you can tune in, same place, same time. Join us on either the YouTube or the Mixler stream. First pitch outside from Hasegawa. 1-0 to the top of the order, Drew Veach. And then on Sunday, it's an earlier start. Third straight Sunday that the Pippins will have a 1:05 first pitch. Two of them were at home. This time it's on the road. Inside, 2-0 from Hasegawa. Of course, that 1:05 first pitch here is 12:05 for those of you listening in Yakima. Pippins will then hop on the airplane following the game and make the trip back across the border in the cover of darkness. 2-0 downstairs, 3-0. Might be another situation here for Shifu where he just needs to find two more outs any way he can get it. Riverhawks jumped out to the very early lead, and although they haven't scored since, as the 3-0 misses for ball four, although they haven't scored since, it was enough in those first 3 innings to really make this one hard to come back from. Pippins had put up a fight. They had 4 runs in the middle innings. 5th and the 6th, they scored 2 apiece. 7 runs is a pretty respectable number, but just can't give up 13. Here's Cole Kreisel. First pitch very slowly out towards third. The runner jumps over to avoid the tag. Daichi's throw pulls Nick off the bag, and everybody's safe. Would have been a close play over there at first. This is likely an infield hit. Everybody moves up another 90 feet, and the bases are loaded for the Riverhawks, trying to provide some early fireworks before they set off the real explosives. Jake Lanferman going to send up a pinch hitter. Cale Clark, a lefty, going to come in and get some hacks. Cale Clark from Marionville, Missouri. Seen action in one game. He went 0 for 3 against Victoria on June 9th. First pitch he sees is a ball from Shifu. Pippins pull the corners in. 1 out, so the middle infield plays double play depth. Shifu surrounded by trouble. 1-0 downstairs. Good block by Snido. 2 balls, no strikes. (13-7) the score. Riverhawks in front. 2-0. Shifu misses outside. No place to put the pinch hitter Clark. Looks like we'll have another pinch hitter on deck for Andrew's spot. After Easton was walked 4 times today. 3-0. Swinging a foul ball off the front foot of Clark. He has a protector on that shin. It looks okay. Marvin Hill has grabbed a bat in the on-deck circle. 3-1. That pitch inside, ball 4. Riverhawks score for the first time since the first third of the game. Scott comes across the plate. Everybody else moves up. And Marvin Hill digs into the right-hand batter's box. He wears number 42. Shifu misses downstairs ball one. He's lost the strike zone. Coach Krusty asking how many visits he has left. He's going to go use his final one to talk to Shifu. Jackson Walker has grabbed a baseball and is throwing in the Pippins bullpen. We have not seen J-Dub throw off of the mound yet this year, although he does have experience doing so. Might be asked to come in here to try to find a couple of outs if Shifu can't get the strike zone under control. Three hours into the contest as it's 10-10 here in Edmonton. Meeting breaks up. Hill digs back in. Marvin Hill from Schenectady, New York. 5'11", 225, takes ball two inside. 2-0. Hill hitting .091 on the season with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Last action came June 7th at Nanaimo. He went 0 for 2. Shifu misses outside with a fastball. It's 3-0. Walker probably going to get warm relatively quickly now. Three and 0. Hasegawa fires. Strike on the inner black. Ground ball could get you out of the inning. Give the Pippins bats one more chance. 14-7, 7-run lead for the Riverhawks. Shifu's 3-1. Same spot, same call. Count now 3-2. Velasquez plays in on the cut of the grass for the Pips. The payoff pitch cut on and missed. Hill handcuffed himself. Second strikeout for Shifu tonight. 2 away for Jason Green, the lefty. Green 1 for 4, a single, a run scored, a sacrifice fly way back in the first inning. Here in the first meeting all time between Yakima Valley and Edmonton, looks more and more like the Riverhawks are going to come away with game one. Green fouls it past the first base coaching box and into the Pippins dugout, 0-1. So the Pippins will be looking to even the series tomorrow. Not making excuses, but it will be interesting to see how this team plays on a full night's rest. It was a very long day getting up here. On the ground over towards first. Velasquez gloves it, steps on the bag himself. Side retired. To the ninth we go. Edmonton scores one more on a couple of hits. No errors. And the bags left loaded full of Riverhawks. Top of the ninth when we come back. Pippins trail by 7 here in Edmonton. Top of the ninth inning. The traditional Sweet Caroline rendition in between the eighth and ninth innings has been popularized by the Boston Red Sox over the past few years. Well, I shouldn't say past few. That's more than a few years old as a tradition, but more and more places it seems like are moving to that traditional Sweet Caroline song. New pitcher into the game for the Riverhawks. It is Cole Hubner. Hubner, we start playing as the song continues playing. 0-1 as the pitch is fouled straight back. Pinch hitter here is Ramon Valenzuela hitting for Parker Burt. Ramon behind in the count now 0-2. So Coach Crustangel brings in a sub, giving someone an at bat before Ramon might play tomorrow. It's kind of his turn to be in the order. 0-2. Hard fastball, 91 down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ramon. One of the 3 Coyotes from CSU San Bernardino joining the team. 1-2. Ramon fouls it off of himself. Count remains the same, still 1-2. Snido still in the on deck circle. He came in for Ramos earlier in this game. So he's not going to be hit for, but we might see one more pinch hitter before the night is over. 1-2 to Valenzuela. Down and in. Count runs to 2-2. Pippins trying to spark a little bit of confidence going to tomorrow. Ramon takes upstairs. That's ball 3. Count runs full. 3 outs to play with. All Yakima Valley has. Hibner winds and fires. The payoff is high, ball 4. Valenzuela aboard in his pinch hit appearance. And so Snido will have a man on with nobody out. Snido, since coming in the 5th inning, drew a walk and flew out to center field. First pitch inside. Did he go around? No. Scott Eckard says Snido held up the bat. It's 1-0. Yeah, the velocity good for Hibner, but a walk and now a very wild start. There's a strike. Dotted the corner at 90. Fireworks show to follow here in Edmonton. 1-1, top of the zone. It's called ball 2. 2-1. Probably be some oohs and ahs as we do the post-game interview down on the field. Probably going to talk to Parker after a 3-hit day with a home run. There's a strike. 2-2 to Snido. The middle of the order, if you don't count the pinch hitters here, 9 of the Pippins' 11 hits. 2-2. Down and away. That's ball 3. They also accounted for 7, well, all 7 of the Pippins' runs. Ramon over at first. Payoff pitch upcoming to Snido. Here it comes. Wave and a miss. Cole down on strikes. 2 outs left here in the 9th. Derek Hurtado going to pinch hit for Yakima Valley in place of Luis Garcia. Hurtado, another lefty stick. First pitch he sees is high and away, ball one. Pip's bench starting to empty. Down by 7 here in the ninth. 1-0. Foul ball at the dish. 1-1. Derek getting a piece of that on a check swing. Garcia ends his day 0 for 3. 1-1. Hurtado buckles the knees, takes one up at the top of the zone for strike 2. Hibner still sending in 90. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the pinch hitter, Hurtado. Inside, nearly clipped him. Derek bails out. Even with the 7:05 first pitch, the sky is still not completely dark. That's how far north we are. 2-2. Hurtado watches high and away. Count runs full to the second straight batter. Snido in a full count struck out. Derek Hurtado facing a similar situation with Tyson Miller in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch. Derek got a piece, sent it back to the backstop and stays alive. Derek, another one of those coyotes from CSU San Bernardino. Three balls, 2 strikes. Another full count pitch on the way to Derek Hurtado. Derek sends one back towards the press box, up on top of the canopy, and out of play. It'll be a third foul ball, third payoff pitch upcoming. Pippins in danger of falling to a game over 500, 7-6. Edmonton about to advance to be 5-7. Hurtado skies one into shallow center field, shallow enough that it's the shortstop Kreisel who makes the catch. 2 away here in the ninth. Tyson Miller will hit in his regularly scheduled spot. Last chance for Yakima Valley to add any offense to the scorebook. Hibner fires the first pitch. Tyson sends it foul down the left field line and into the stands. Nice big bowl of fans waiting for fireworks here on a Friday night in Edmonton. 0-1, high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tyson another lefty to face this hard-throwing right-hander. 1-1, well high and away. Out of the crouch comes Green. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch, outside ball 3. Cam Fleck waits in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 3-1. Tyson takes a strike at the top of the zone. The Pippins down to their final one of those. And Hurtado can get a head start. Excuse me, that's Valenzuela can get a head start over at first. Payoff pitch upcoming. Ball game on the line. Here it comes. Tyson takes ball 4 upstairs. Game still alive. Cam Fleck picked up a single back in the 7th. Remaining fans here try to start the wave. It's kind of hard to do that with a half cylinder. When you don't have the full circle, it's hard to see where it starts, where it ends, when you're supposed to come back. First pitch to Fleck. Upstairs, ball 1. Chilly Canadian air here in Edmonton for the Pippins. First trip to Canada in a couple of years. Ball bounces away. Both runners going to try to advance. The throw down to third is not in time. All right, so Pippins at second and third. 2 outs and a 2-0 count to Cam Fleck. Called a pass ball. 2-0 pitch. Downstairs, 3 balls, no strikes. Hibner having some struggles with the strike zone here. Up by 7. Walk would load him up. 3-0. They are loaded. Cam Fleck takes high and tight. Levi Correa. See if he can get some confidence before this game ends. Correa 0 for 3. A walk in the 4th. Levi needs to see something hit green grass. Valenzuela at third, Miller at second. You've got Fleck over at first as Levi takes strike 1 at the top of the zone. Hibner took a little bit off of it. He's thrown 30 pitches though, so likely not going to be available tomorrow. Upstairs, 1-1. Not that the Riverhawks need help. They've got quite a deep bench when they're at home, similar to Yakima Valley. 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Pippins will be patient and let the runs come across as long as Hibner's willing to give them out. Two balls and a strike, 2 out. Pippins at every base. 2-1. Correa takes upstairs. No place to put Levi. See if we can get him an RBI before the night's over. And flip the lineup card back over to Jay O'Neill. 3-1 on the way to Levi. He takes upstairs ball 4. The Pippins have scored here in the 9th. Three straight walks issued to the bottom 3 in the order by Hibner, leading at the time by 7. And so now the bullpen will have to get active for Jake Lanferman and Jamie Wilson. And a meeting will be had on the mound as Jay O'Neill prepares to hit for the 6th time. We'll see what O'Neill can do here. Anything's possible in this great game. Pippins trailing 14-8, bags full. Fireworks to be had here after this game concludes. Pippins right now 8 runs on 11 hits. Again, a very respectful number. Problem is there's 14 runs on only 9 hits for the opposition. Here's Jay O'Neill batting in the 9th. Takes a pitch high and tight for ball 1. Again, Pips will continue to take the walks or take the Non-strikes as long as they're going to be given out. Big cut by Jay. Even count, 1-1. Chilly, chilly night. 1-1 sent back to the screen. Pippins down to their final strike. Road-weary Yakima Valley with the bases full of Pippins. Jay O'Neill trying to avoid going 0 for 6 today. Crowd rises, the 1-2 high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'd say still about 3,700 strong, waiting for fireworks. Try to cheer on Hibner. 2-2 line drive. This is down into center field for a base hit. 1 run comes home. Here comes a second. Tyson Miller and Cam Fleck cross the plate. Pippins bring it a little bit closer. Jay O'Neill comes through with a single to drive home 2. That is going to be the end of the line for the hard-throwing Hibner. He allows 3 runs in the top of the 9th, and the Riverhawks, once leading by 7, now only lead by 4. Pippins threatening, down to their last out. We'll get you information on the new pitcher in just a moment. Welcome back to Edmonton. New pitcher into the game is Trey Nance, the righty, making his second appearance on the season. Crowd here still lively, although the Pippins have the tying run in the on-deck circle. First pitch from Nance is called a strike. Daichi Furuhata, who has 3 hits today and has scored 3 times. The hitter with 2 outs for Yakima Valley. Jay O'Neill got a 2 RBI single that forced Hibner out of the game. Daichi fouls one into the Riverhawks dugout, and the Pippins again down to their final strike. Crowd again will rise. Daichi struck out back in the 8th inning. Trying to avoid that here. 0-2 pitch. Daichi on the ground out towards short. They're going to go this short route to second, and the game is over. Jay O'Neill forced out 6-4. The Riverhawks win it by a final score of 14-10. Game started at 7:09. We finish at 10:35 in the Mountain Time Zone. Winning pitcher will be Halverson. He went 5 innings, giving up 5 runs, striking out 2, walking 3, giving up 8 hits. Loser will be Josh Mawhinney, who gives up 7 runs and only a third of an inning that he pitches. He walks 5, does not strike out any, and exits after only 35 pitches. Pippins in that final frame do get 3 runs. They leave a couple on the base pads, and they will drop game 1 14-10. On a chilly night when the Pippins found themselves down 13-3 after 3 innings, the fact that this is a 14-10 final score tells you a lot about this team. I think we're going to see a good one tomorrow. I think Yakima Valley going to rebound, going to get a good night of sleep, and then get ready to play in front of another rowdy crowd tomorrow on a Saturday afternoon. I got to head downstairs to get an interview done. It's going to take a second, so we're going to head down there now. Thanks for listening in to the broadcast, everybody. I'm Harmon Johnsen saying stay safe. Have a wonderful rest of the night. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 7 to 5 p.m. in the Mountain Time Zone. Pippins fall in this one, 14-10. Talk to you all tomorrow.